welcome in here. Beautiful afternoon at the Genesis Health Club complex here in Wichita, Kansas. My name is Arnav Pokhrel. Joining me in the booth today, Ethan McCormick, ready for another day of Corn Belt League Baseball.
Yeah. It's going to be a beautiful day. It's not as hot as it was yesterday. I don't feel like I'm sweating half my body weight walking up to the press box. It's going to be another great day. We've got another great matchup on here for the CBL All-Stars, and this should be a good one.
Yeah, taking on the Midwest Moos today. Both of these teams come into this game 1-0. The Moos took out home a big win against the Mid-Crest Pumas yesterday. The final score of that game was 4-1. And then obviously, if you were watching last night, you saw the Corn Belt League put up a ton of numbers on the scoreboard and fill up the stat sheet. 16-0 the final score against the McPherson Pipeliners. That game run rule called off in the 5th inning. We only saw 4 innings of work from Aaron Madden there, as it was an incredible night for him. He went 9 strikeouts, 1 walk, and 59 pitches, I should say. And then we saw Noah Wing come in and absolutely dominate. 11 pitches, all strikes.
Yeah, the keys to the game for both teams yesterday was pitching. The Pipeliners were having a hard time getting their pitching staff going, but on the reverse end, CBL, their pitching staff was going. And Aaron Madden, what a spectacular outing from him. Keeping it under 60 pitches, which for Coach Johnston Hobbs was the key. Yeah, Aaron Madden going out there dealing 9 strikeouts, and then Noah Wing coming in and shutting down almost an immaculate inning, almost threw 9 straight strikes. He didn't throw a ball, so he still threw 12 straight strikes, but that was a great outing from both pitchers yesterday.
Yeah, we talked about pitching. We saw a great performance yesterday from Easton Perkins of the McPherson Pipeliners, one of the youngest kids in this tournament. He's going into his sophomore year of high school and just couldn't get it going against a team that's a lot more physically built, a lot more experience on the baseball diamond, but for him, a bright future for Easton Perkins.
Oh, I can't wait to watch that kid and see where he goes with this high school and then his collegiate career. Yeah, he was out there on the mound dealing. He had a really lively slider with a nice late break to it, and he had a really lively fastball, which he was able to kind of raise to around the shoulders, face area. And yeah, he was electric. He had really, really good command. He had a good body presence out on the mound, and I can't wait to see where his career takes him.
Yeah, you mentioned that. Just changed the eye level really well. A really intelligent pitcher, especially for someone his age. He's just getting into that high school side of things. Played summer Legion ball, but now he's slowly developing. He'll be a sophomore at El Dorado High School, and we'll see where he goes, Easton Perkins. But now we got a new game on hand with the Midwest Moos. We'll take you through the starting lineup here for the Moos, see what we have against them. We've got number 1, Nate Correhayes. He's going to be the second baseman for the Moos on the season, 20 for 67 in the KCLB, the Kansas League of Baseball. That's a .299 average, so one of the most prolific hitters on this team. Just hits for contact. He's got 2 doubles, 7 RBIs. Bit of an issue here is the strike-to-walkout ratio, but we'll see that with a lot of guys, actually. 13 walks on the year compared to 17 strikeouts, but he does bring a little bit of speed there from second base, 8 stolen bases on the year.
Yeah, next up we got Joel Townsley taking that shortstop position. He's batting .286 on the year for the Midwest Moo and 70 plate appearances. He's got 20 hits. He does have a home run and 4 RBIs on the year, so he does possess a little bit of power in his at-bat, which is going to be key in the 2 spot for the Moo today.
Yeah, and then batting third for the Moos, you've got Matt Hamilton, number 20. He'll be playing third base. Goes to college at Newman University, as Joel Townsley goes to Pratt Community College. And for Newman University, Matt Hamilton, 52 at-bats, 20 hits, 6 RBIs, hitting a .385 average. Just a really productive outing there for Newman, and then a really productive summer here for the Moos for Matt Hamilton.
Yeah, next up we got Mickey Coyne,
I believe it is.
Coyne, excuse me. So he's 58 plate appearances. He's got 10 hits, 10 RBIs, 11 walks, batting .172. But yesterday he went 2 for 4 with this double and an RBI, and he derives from Arkansas State University.
Yeah, one of the only D1 guys in this whole entire tournament, we should say. Arkansas State University has a very, very efficient hitter there in Mickey Coyne, as well as he can deal on the mound, too. He's got 5 innings pitched, only giving up 4 hits and 1 earned run, so very effective two-way player there for the Moos. We'll see if they decide to throw him out on the diamond, but he'll be playing right field today. That'll bring us to number 17, AJ Romero, batting 5th in the lineup. He'll be playing catcher. Romero, on the year, he's got 57 at-bats, only 7 RBIs on 17 hits. A player from Whitman College, but his average is really what gets you, .368 on the year, a big 4-contact hitter.
Yeah, next up we got the Southwestern College Mound Builders product Brady Johnson behind the plate today. He's 44 at-bats, 12 hits, 9 RBIs, 5 walks with the .273 average. Another one of those contact guys that can drive in runs when you need them.
Yeah, it'll bring up the 7th spot in Brendan Bentley. He's going to be playing in the outfield. He'll be playing in left field today. Bentley on the year, .268, 8 runs scored, 3 doubles, 1 home run. So another one of those hitters with a little bit of power here. Comes from Texas Permian Basin, a D3 school down there in Texas. Did not play yesterday. We'll see how he plays today out there in left field.
Next up, another Southwestern College mound builder product, Jace Horn manning the first base position over there today. 6 for 57, which brings him about a 105 average. 6 runs, 2 doubles, 6 RBIs, 6 walks, and that strikeout percentage is a little high with 20 Ks, but maybe this could be that turning game for him here.
Yeah, and then we'll bring up the 9-hole hitter, and Andrew Brown. Andrew Brown wears number 8, plays the number 8 position as well. He'll be playing in center field today. 8 hits, 2 home runs on the year, 4 RBIs. So another of those power guys, especially at the bottom lineup. Good work there by the Moos to balance out their power hitters. He's from Providence Christian College, but the thing we notice here with the Moos, they've got a lot of guys from the Southwestern College Mound Builders, and as we were doing our research, we mentioned that college as one of the craziest mascots. You see their mascot as a cat, but the Mound Builders themselves are an interesting mascot, and not one thing that I use to describe a cat.
Yeah, that's a really interesting mascot and team name. They're Division III school, so I mean, once you get down to those Division II, Division III schools, you start to get some pretty interesting team names and some pretty interesting logos. But yeah, that's a pretty interesting school. They have a kind of a rich baseball history. They've been good for quite a long time, so these players have kind of solidified themselves as being ballers.
Yeah, so 9 of these guys play on that Southwestern College team. We'll take a quick break here, bring you back, and introduce you to some of the Corn Belt League guys. Talk about the game yesterday as well as that one was an incredible one. We'll recap that one, and we'll bring you first pitch action here from Genesis Health Field in Wichita, Kansas. We are back here after the break. We'll talk a little bit about this Corn Belt League team. Leading it off, Danny Spongberg. He'll play center field as well. Mentioned it, the killer speed last night. He had a lot of 2s on the score sheet. He went 2 for 2, 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored, 2 stolen bases, and also got hit by pitch twice. So an interesting day there for Danny Spongberg. But once again, we're expecting him to kill the Moos with his speed.
Yeah, next up in the 2 spot, taking the 6th position is Peyton Blinn. Peyton Blinn from IUPUC. Played for the Black Sox this CBL season, 43 plate appearances, 12 hits, 9 RBIs, 14 walks, 9 strikeouts, and batting .279. That walk to strikeout ratio is really good. That's going to be key as a 1 and 2 spot guy to get on base and get some damage early.
Yeah, you might know Peyton Blinn as the guy who got robbed of a double, maybe even a triple on that SportsCenter top 10 play in center field by Tanner Black. I mean, Blinn lifted that ball. Blinn has a lot of power. You saw it on display there, and Tanner Black just had a great play there. We're going to mention that as much as we can. As that was an incredible play there from Tanner Black. Moving down to the 3 spot, we have Brendan Anderson. He'll be DHing today. Yesterday, you saw him in right field. Brendan Anderson last night hit for 1 for 3 with 2 runs scored, 1 RBI, and 1 walk. So not as productive of a day as we were expecting there from Anderson, but he scored a run nonetheless, and he got an RBI when he needed to. So he'll look to add on to that today.
Next up, taking over for Brendan Anderson in right field is Spencer Crane from Baldwin Wallace University. He's another Black Sox player. from the CBL season. And this year, he 26 hits, 17 RBIs, 7 walks, 16 strikeouts, and a 361 average. Pretty efficient stuff right there from Spencer Crane. He's one of those guys that can get you a hit. He's very efficient at the plate, very disciplined, and really, he's pretty picky with his stuff.
Yeah, and next up we've got number 40, Hunter Babe. He'll be playing first base today, coming in there for Mitchell Pomeroy. Yesterday you saw Babe in the DH spot. He'll be playing. He played with the Filth Ballers, I should say. And last night Hunter Babe went 1 for 3, 2 runs, 2 RBIs, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. So a bit all over the place today for Hunter Babe. He looks to get more consistent and try and up that average here as we go on today against the Moos.
Next up on the hot corner, Eli McDonald, the product from Bethel University, Mishawaka. He's a Royal Blue Dog player. This season, 24 hits, 22 RBIs, 12 walks, 7 strikeouts, and a 345 average. Another one of those guys who can get you a hit when you need it, draws a lot of walks, very disciplined at the plate.
And not just the plate thing, he does it in the field too. He's an incredible defender. We saw it on display here for the Royal Blue Dogs during the summer. One of the biggest reasons why he was picked for this team is just that defensive prowess that he brings. He's very confident in that third base corner. And when you're at third base, you have to be confident because if you do one thing wrong with those throws, it's a free second base. Moving on here, we got number 25, Caleb Copeland. He'll be playing in left field today. He's from Bethany College, played for the Dusters, the Crop Dusters, I should say. On the year, 11 hits, 1 RBI, 5 walks, but where he does his damage is on the base paths. He's incredibly fast. Not as fast as Spongberg, but we'll see him swipe some bags today, hopefully.
Yeah, filling the other middle infield position and batting ninth is number 34, Isaac Bonner. Isaac Bonner from Sioux Falls, an Omaha Central High School alumni, a filth baller, champion filth baller. This season, 9 hits, 7 RBIs, 9 walks, 7 strikeouts, and a 222 average. He's known morely for his glove, known more for his defensive prowess in the middle infield spot.
And then that'll bring up the 9 spot. And Derek Siegner, he'll be catching. We did not see him yesterday, but Siegner on the year. He's from the Filth Baller, so another champion Filth Baller. He plays for Norfolk State. He's got 10 hits, 8 RBIs, 5 walks, 5 strikeouts, so 1-to-1 walk to strikeout ratio. He'll be looking to change that today. He wants to get on base more, and he's not going to kill you with the speed like Nick Carlson does. Nick Carlson, obviously the faster of the 2 catchers, but I think Siegner just brings a different approach at the plate, and that's what Hobbs is trying to do here is just change things up at the plate. Take a quick look at the pitchers for today. First off, starting it off for the Moos, we got Yoshi Nakazato. We saw him pitch yesterday as well in the Moos win against the Mid-City Pumas. Nakazato from Kyushu Kyoto University, 1 1/3 innings pitched, 1 strikeout, and got credited for the save in that win yesterday.
Yeah, on the season, he's 0 for 2, 5.51 ERA, 9 appearances this year. He's got 31 innings under his belt, 16 Ks, 20 walks. That walks could be a little bit of an issue, and he's been known to maybe give up some runs here and there, but it'll be interesting to see how deep the Moos take him today.
Yeah, especially if the Moos want to make a postseason run here. They know they're going to save Nakazato. They have to save Nakazato because he's one of the key guys, whether it's coming out of the bullpen like he did yesterday and closing out a game that was getting close. I mean, the Moos were only up by 2 going into the 9th inning. They were able to get 1 in the top of the 9th to go up by 3, and then Nakazato able to come in, finish things off there in the bottom of the 9th. But other than that, they really have no true strong bullpen arm. Nakazato is really going to be that guy. And on the flip side, we got Zane Layden, the product from Bellevue University. He played for the Omaha Bombers, I should say, with his college coach, Austin Alexander. And what a great pitcher he was. He truly developed into that number 2 for the Bombers. 58 innings pitched, gave up 62 hits, 15 walks to 38 strikeouts, so an incredible strike-to-walkout ratio. ERA is a little bit high, though, at 4.37.
Yeah, that ERA is a little bit high, but let's not distract that he can deal when he needs to, but he's got to keep a tempo. He's got to keep his cool out there on the mound. It's hot outside, but he's got to be able to stay cool out on the mound. He's got to be able to trust his stuff. He's got to be able to locate pitches when he needs to. He's got a very effective slider when he needs it, and he's very good at working the horizontal game.
We'll see Layden deal here as we've got about 2 minutes left until first pitch is scheduled here at Genesis Health Field. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back with some first pitch action. We'll see you there when the Corn Belt League All-Stars take on the Midwest Moos. We're back. A very quick break there as things are ready to go their way. The Moos are not going to wait for that 4 o'clock pitch time. We're going to get started here at 3:59. And we're going to see Corey Hayes working against Layden. That first pitch is on that outside line, and it's called a strike. Good pitch there from Layden.
Yeah, Layden's got to set the tone early. That was a good start to the game. set that outer half of the zone, make these hitters realize that that outer half is in play.
And there's another pitch on the outer half. This one just outside for the first ball. So it's 1-1 against Cora Hayes, the leadoff hitter for the Moos. This one swung on, fouled back. It's 1-2 now. And if Layden can get this first strikeout on the leadoff batter, that would be huge for his confidence going into the rest of the game.
Yeah, that'd be huge. And Zane's looking to keep this pitch count this inning under 20 to 15 pitches, work efficiently. You want to try to go as deep as possible with very minimal pitches.
Efficiency is the name of the game here. As that one's way inside on Cora Hayes, so it'll be 2-2. And that's one that just got away from him. A late release point there from Layden, just trying to get one working across the plate, and he crossed it in a little bit too much there. So it'll be 2-2 working against Cora Hayes. Nate Cora Hayes, the second baseman for the Moos. That pitch is high. Just missing there is Layden. Late call there by the ump to stand up and call ball. So it'll be a full count here, and that's not the way you want to start off a game if you're Layden.
I thought that pitch was in the zone. The umpire thought that was maybe a little high. The hitter did a good job of selling that pitch.
That one inside swung on, and it'll go foul, just missing the first base bag just on the outside of it. So Cora Hayes will return here, but 6th pitch at bat. This is not a bad thing for Cora Hayes, just working Layden early.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job of working that Layden pitch count. Like we said earlier, Layden's got to reduce that pitch count to around 20 to 15 pitches this inning, and he's done a really good job of working that pitch count on the very first at-bat of the game.
Yeah, I mean, the Corn Belt League does have a few more very solid options. Go to Urbaum and C.J. Fleeman, as well as Theo Hughes come to mind here, as that one is a walk. It's going to be outside. And Cora Hayes will head to first on a walk, full count. And that'll bring up Joel Townsley. He's going to be playing shortstop for the Moos today. And Townsley on the year, 70 at-bats, 20 hits, 1 home run, 4 RBIs during the Moos KCLB season. He'll look to advance Cora Hayes at first. First pitch is up and inside. It misses for 1-0. So Layden's got to really calm down. Runner on first has got a lot of speed here. And Cora Hayes, there's a swing and a miss from Townsley, so it's 1-1. A lot of speed there at first base with Cora Hayes, so you got to keep an eye out for him, but you also got to get him out of your mind, really. You cannot be focusing on him when you got a batter in front of you.
Right. I mean, it's all about balancing the run game and your hitter, and as he attempts a pickoff over there at first base. But yeah, it's all about keeping the runner in the back of your mind, but also focusing on the hitter and trying to balance both.
After the pickoff attempt, Layden attempts here with a 1-1 count, and that one's up and in. So it's 2-1. Man, really struggling with that high fastball early and the high curves. He's missing high, and he just needs to lower it just a little bit to sneak it inside that zone. He's not missing by much, as there's a big swing and a miss for 2-2. Just got to control it just a little bit down, and he'll be in the zone.
Yeah, I mean, if he can just gather that release point and really work on his arm angle and get that ball across the plate at an effective and efficient angle, he'll be set.
Layden ready's the 2-2. Runner goes. Up quick there is Siegner, and is it throw there in time? Yes, it is. Siegner with the strikeout. Sorry, Layden with the strikeout. Siegner gets a caught sitting, so 2 outs in 1 play there for the Corn Belt League.
What a nice strikeout, throw him out right there by Derek and Lane right there. They set up outside, waiting. He kind of knew he was going to go, and good pop time right there and just gunned him down.
Yeah, Siegner threw an absolute bullet down there to Blinn. And now with 2 outs, nobody on. It brings up the 3-spot hitter, and Matt Hamilton also playing third base, as Layden just catches the outside line there on this one, so it's 0-1.
Yeah, Layden's done a really good job of battling back from that first at-bat walk, and now he looks a lot more comfortable out on the mound.
Second pitch is in. It's a grounder to Blinn at shortstop. Blinn makes the throw. Is it there in time? Yes, it is. And there goes the side for the Moos. No runs on no hits. 1 runner reaches on a walk. It'll bring up top of the order for the Corn Belt League. Spongberg, Blinn, and Anderson due up. We'll be back after the break. We are back here taking a look at the new pitcher, Yoshi Nakazato, for the Midwest Moos. Ethan, you noticed something about him while he's throwing right now. What do you see?
He has like no leg kick. It's a very, very long release. He brings the ball, he hides it behind his back, and then he just comes straight over the top, which on a curveball can be very effective because of the release point and the way the ball comes out and rotates. So this is going to be very interesting for these CBL guys. They haven't faced a pitcher quite like this with that release point and that style of pitch all year. So this will be interesting to see if they can adjust.
Yeah, so Danny Spongberg, the leadoff man for the Corn Belt League, bottom of the first. We'll see what he can do here working against Yoshi Nakazato. Nakazato looks in and gets his first signal there from the catcher. That's Romero behind the plate. And there's that long release point. As you said, it's a slow curve in there for a ball. It looks like that one just missed low.
Yeah, I feel like Nakazato here is going to be utilizing his curveball, which I feel like he uses comfortably. So we'll see if he can utilize that curveball in early counts.
The only thing is you don't want to leave it hanging, especially against the likes of Anderson, Crane, and Babe, as Spongberg hits a shortstop grounder to the shortstop, and there's the first out. Spongberg is retired. It'll bring up Peyton Blinn.
Yeah, Sponberg's speed is so dangerous on routine ground balls like that. You almost have to be prepared to come up and throw right away because Sponberg could still beat those out.
Yeah, we saw it yesterday. He reached on an infield hit. It'll bring up Peyton Blinn, the left-handed hitter, working against Nakazato. And you got to think here as a lefty facing against a lefty, a chance for Blinn to put something here opposite field. First pitch is in from Nakazato. It's a fastball, but it misses low. And you got to think that's going to be the common thing from Nakazato is he's releasing from so high, he's still having to throw that downward angle that some of them are just going to end up falling low. So Corn Belt League needs to be aware of that. As he readies the 1-0. That one's in there for a strike.
Yeah, on those high release points like that, it's really hard to work the horizontal game. You have to utilize a lot of vertical up and down games. So it'll be interesting to see if he can work the outer and inner half of the plate here.
There's a curve. It's going to be outside. So it'll be 2-1 coming up for Blinn. And not really, we've only seen two pitches from Nakazato. We've seen a fastball and a curve here, but with that arm angle, I don't really see you can't really throw a slider from there. Maybe a changeup. We might see Nakazato try and fool some Corn Belt League hitters with that long motion as Blinn lifts this one high into left field territory, but it's going to go foul. Unable to get to it there is a third baseman, Hamilton. And so it'll be 2-2.
Yeah, this is right here. If you're Blinn, just sit back on a curveball and watch one in the dirt. He has a pitch to work with, Nakazato does, but I wouldn't be surprised if he throws one in the dirt, seeing if Blinn is staying disciplined at the plate.
Nakazato with a 2-2. Blinn steps back out of the batter's box, regathers his thoughts here as Brendan Anderson sits on deck in the DH circle, and he's crouched over trying to see what Nakazato is doing with that long release point, trying to time it up correctly. And Blinn lifts this one. Will it get over the third baseman? No, it will not. It'll be a line out right to Hamilton there on third base, who just missed that pop out in left field, and it's 2 away for the Corn Belt League.
Yeah, just wasn't able to barrel that one up. Went oppo with that pitch, got knobbed up on the end of the bat there, but unfortunately wasn't able to barrel one up.
That'll bring up Brendan Anderson, the designated hitter. Saw him in right field yesterday, went 1 for 3 for the Corn Belt League. Trying to avoid going down in order here, working against Nakazato. And the first pitch is in there for a strike. Good fastball in the inside corner.
Yeah, that fastball is very lively. He's able to work the inside, as I said earlier. We'll see if he can work the inside-outside game, and it looks like he's been able to kind of transform his game just in the last couple pitches to work that inside-outside game.
There's the 0-1, and that one's in the dirt, so it'll be 1-1. Anderson not swinging there. Spencer Crane sits in the on-deck circle in the cleanup spot. This is the matchup you want, really. Power hitter against a slower pitcher who locates his pitches, but if Anderson sees one, you know he can send this one deep. That one sits just wide of the plate there. Looked like it caught the edge, and with the way the umpires were calling the strike zone yesterday, it probably would have been a strike. But Nakazato not getting the call there, so it'll be 2-1.
Yeah, I thought that ball caught the outside corner to make it a 1-2 count, but apparently the umpire thought that one was positioned a little outside.
Now with the 2-1, that one misses high, so it'll be 3-1. And Anderson is probably, unless it's a fastball straight down the middle, Anderson is not swinging at this one.
I would not give Brendan Anderson the green light right here if you're Hobbs. You need base runners.
We'll see Nakazato line up the 3-1 here. And it's just on the outside. Will they give it to him? Yes, they will. It'll be a full count. And looking to avoid going down in order, Brendan Anderson working out of a full count. See how Nakazato decides to attack this one. Nakazato rearing up the full count pitch. And it's inside, and it's just sawed off there by Brendan Anderson, so it'll be 3-2 again.
Yeah, he took that inside pitch, which I thought could have gone for a ball, and he absolutely turned on that pitch, sent it right into the Moos dugout. Now you almost have to think that he's going to be sitting something on the outer half of the plate because he worked inside there.
Nakazato will move again from the 3-2. It's inside, and it looks like it hit Brendan Anderson. He kind of half swung at it, but looks like there was contact. He didn't go through, and it'll bring up Spencer Crane with Anderson on first. We'll rule that one as a walk.
Yes, we'll see if Spencer Crane can bring around Brendan Anderson. Brendan Anderson's not known for having the greatest amount of speed, more known for being a power hitter up at the plate. We'll see if maybe Johnston Hobbs, can work a little bit of a hit and run type of situation here.
Crane playing in right field today. Throws on a bunt, but pulls it back in time for ball one. Trying to catch the Moos off guard there with throwing up that bunt. You know he's probably not going to bunt here, especially as your cleanup hitter. Just want to change the balance there of the Moos a little bit. He's probably pulling that one back all the way. Anderson able to get back on the pickoff pitch from Nakazato, and that was a very slow one. Nakazato didn't really seem to have his whole heart into that one, and he'll line up again the 1-0.
I mean, Brendan Anderson, like I said, is not the greatest speed and stolen base threat.
And right on cue, they're working a hit and run here between Crane and Anderson, and a little bit of a commentator's curse there as Anderson took off running on that next pitch. But Crane fouls that one off, so it'll be 1-1.
I called that, though. I said they were maybe going to work a hit and run type of situation there, see if they can get Brendan Anderson moving. I didn't think it was going to be an outright stolen base by all means, but I thought maybe a little hit and run was going to be working there. See if they can get a run on the board and swing the momentum to the first base dugout.
So Crane is still at the plate here. The count is 1-1. Nakazato lines up here, looking to get ahead in this count. And instead it's another pickoff throw. Anderson tracks back. You're seeing a lot of those pickoff throws, maybe just trying to clear his mind there. As Nakazato readies up a 1-1 again. Big swing and a miss there from Crane. Nakazato catches Crane off balance with a changeup.
Yeah, that was the first changeup we've seen from Nakazato all day. That's kind of an interesting. I'm surprised how he's able to throw that with the way his arm angle is, but that was a pretty effective looking changeup right there.
It'll bring up the 1-2. Crane now has got to fight for his life here at the plate. Anderson goes. Crane lifts this one into center field. Is Brown able to get under it? Yes, he is. A reaching catch to retire Spencer Crane. And that'll be the third out. We have no runs on no hits for the Corn Belt League All-Stars. We'll head to the top of the second. This one's all tied up, 0-0. Back here, top of the second, coming up for the Midwest Moos, though. Coyne, Romero, and Johnson coming up. Coyne, the right fielder, batting cleanup from Arkansas State University. Really, the numbers speak for themselves, but then the name speaks for itself as well. The only D1 guy on this Midwest Moos team. Very effective hitting on the year. He'll work against Zane Layden. 14 pitches in the first inning, 8 strikes, 6 walks. 15 pitches, not bad there for Layden for 1 inning, but you kind of want to be a little bit lower here. You want to go as deep as you can, especially with the 9-inning games that he's not used to. CBL is only 7 innings, so we'll see how he can work here as the count is currently 0-1. That one's lifted deep into right field, but it goes foul, so it'll be 0-2 for Mickey Coyne.
Yeah, Layton's looking to go deep into this game while maintaining a low pitch count. Hobbs needs to have Layton go deep while utilizing and keeping his bullpen healthy.
Bringing up the 0-2, that one thrown away there. It'll be 1-2, just missed way outside. Coyne on that foul ball really caught all of it. He rocketed that one off the bat, just mistimed it, and really sent that one towards the food truck.
Not the food.
That one, another one fouled off. Ethan, a big fan of the food truck over there, in the food tent. They had Pizza Ranch today, so not the worst thing, you know. There are definitely worse pizza spots, especially in Omaha.
Yeah, shout out to the Summer Ball Showdown for having some great food for us here this weekend.
There's a good pitch from Layden, but it just misses high and outside, so it'll be 2-2. He's really trying to paint those corners early.
Yeah, he's working the inside, the high outside corner, the high inside corner, the low inside corner, the low outside corner. He's not really giving the hitter here anything to work with.
That one chopped up, and it looks like Coyne's just walking, and it looks like
catcher's interference was called right there on that play, which is an automatic runner on first right there, which is unfortunate as that would have been an out up the middle. But that type of stuff happens in baseball. You just forgive and move on, and then you just kind of attack the next hitter.
Yeah. So it'll be catcher's interference called there on Siegner, which means Coyne will head to first base. It'll bring up A.J. Romero, the catcher, batting in the 5 spot, and the umpire goes to meet with Layden, and he'll walk back now, and it'll bring Romero up to the plate here. On the year, Romero 17 hits on 57 at-bats. That's .368 for the average, not the worst. Not the best on this Midwest Moos team, and it's definitely not the worst here. There are definitely some worse hitters on the Moos team, and Romero is not one of them. Layden lines up the first pitch of the at-bat with a runner on first. This could be a double play ball. It's hit to the shortstop. They get the first out, but unfortunately it's dropped, so the second out is unable to be had there. A.J. Romero hits into a fielder's choice, and Coyne is out there at second base.
Even though he dropped the ball in the transfer there, I still don't think he was going to be able to get the runner at first. He was to the bag by the time he was going to throw the ball, so I don't think the double play would have been in order, but that's still a very key out. You get the lead runner, now you got one out. Another double ball play is in effect here.
Yeah, you know, Brady Johnson, the designated hitter, up to bat now. A.J. Romero's on first. First pitch is low and away from Layden. Layden will line up the 1-0. That one just misses high and outside. Unfortunate calling there. Layden really thought he had that one.
I thought that ball just snuck into the zone. I thought that ball was just creeping underneath the letters, and I thought that umpire was going to give it to him.
There's a good curveball from Layden, but it misses high. And so it'll be 3-0.
I don't know where these pitches are missing. I thought that ball was right there in the top of the zone, but the umpire's just not budging on that high call today.
Cena with Nakazato as well, so thankfully they're calling it both ways here. As Layden lines up a 3-0, just looking to get one over the plate and not have a runner in scoring position. He throws a fastball straight down the middle for 3-1. Johnson on the year went to Southwest College Mound Builders. We mentioned them pregame. Was primarily a catcher and now hitting the DH spot. There's another double play opportunity. It's fumbled by the shortstop, Blinn, but is the play made? Yes, it is. 2 outs there. Blinn unassisted at second base and then makes the throw over to first to get 2 down, and that'll bring up the Corn Belt League All-Stars again here in the bottom of the second. We're going to see Hunter Babe, Eli McDonald, and Caleb Copeland when we return. We are back here. Bottom of the second coming up. Hunter Babe, Eli McDonald, Caleb Copeland for the Corn Belt League All-Stars. And we'll see what they can do here. Struggled against Yoshi Nakazato. That late release point, something that they're not used to. We'll see if they can get adjusted to it the second time through the lineup. The only base runner we saw last inning, Brendan Anderson, the DH, reached on a walk. That was off of a full count as the first pitch is there, and it's in the dirt for ball one. Hunter Babe will be playing first base, stepping in for Mitchell Pomeroy, who played yesterday. Babe was a DH yesterday, so he got his swings in, and now he's going to be playing the field as well. Nakazato lines up the 1-0. It's just outside there from Nakazato, so it'll be 2-0, and Nakazato is getting behind in counts, but he eventually works his way back with those second and third pitches. So now down 2-0, expecting to try and go over the heart of the plate with a changeup here. So it's a fastball outside. So 3-0. And Hunter Babe's just going to wait on this one, trying to get that 4-pitch walk.
Yeah, you do not have the green light here. If you're trying to force a walk, trying to get any base runner, if he obviously throws a strike on a 3-1 count, then you get the green light. But right here, you're just watching this pitch.
And that one's outside, but it will catch the line, so it'll be 3-1. So now I'm thinking Hunter Babe gets the green light at 3-1, trying to get a little bit of momentum into this Corn Belt League offense. Pitches in the 3-1, and it's in the dirt. Good watch there from Hunter Babe. He'll head to first base on the walk.
Yeah, it was really good plate discipline right there by Hunter Babe. Nakazato's been forcing some contact for these CBL guys, but he didn't really give them a good pitch there besides the 3-0 count, but you normally don't swing on a 3-0 count, but that was good plate discipline by Hunter Babe. We got a runner on first, no outs. Let's see if the CBL can get something going here.
Yeah, Hunter Babe just stood up there with the bat on his shoulders, did not swing once, and made it all the way to first. So we'll see how Eli McDonald responds here, the third baseman, with the runner on first. Speed there in Hunter Babe, and he's trying to get a steal. The back pick attempt there, not in time from Romero de Horn. Hunter Babe looked like he was going to go. He made the attempt to run. That slow backswing from Nakazato is really something that Coach Hobbs is going to be aggressive about, try and jump on that slow release point, but Babe is able to hustle back to first base and avoid the back pick. This pitch swung on from McDonald, and it will fall in right field, so runners go to first and second. So it's 2-on with no outs. And I'll bring up Caleb Copeland.
Like I said earlier, Nakazato is going to give you pitches to hit. He's a very efficient strike pitcher. If you're the CBL, you just got to attack the first strike that you see and not let him get ahead or behind in the count, because that's when he can get dangerous.
I'm going to bring up Caleb Copeland, the 7-spot hitter, also playing the number 7 position. Where's the number 25? That pitch just catches the outside line. Copeland was showing bunt there, but pulled it back, and Nakazato finding the outside corner for 0-1.
Yeah, Nakazato, 12 balls, 12 strikes. He's been efficient on both things. 50-50 ball strike percentage here so far. So if you're the CBL, it's patience and aggressiveness.
It's a double steal attempt here, but the bunt is fouled off by Copeland. We saw Babe and McDonald both running there. And I'll bring up 0-2 for Copeland. And with a guy like Copeland's speed, the infield bunt hit is not out of the question. But now with 0-2, Copeland's got to put a good swing on this, or just try and slowly work the count back and work Nakazato's pitch count up a little bit.
This puts a lot of defensive pressure on the Moo right here, because you've got options if you're the CBL, but you don't really have a whole lot of options if you're the Moo. You almost got to wonder if you want to take the lead runner or the runner going to first.
And that pitch is in the dirt. So the first ball of the at-bat, it's 1-2. Runners on first and second for Caleb Copeland here. No outs. We're in the bottom of the second inning.
Yeah, Nakazato's got 2 more waste pitches here. He can utilize that curveball, that changeup, go a little off-speed work inside to out, so we'll see what he does here.
Instead, it's a pitch way inside on Copeland. Copeland's really struggled with those pitches inside. We saw him strike out a lot of those in the Crop Duster season, but good eye there from Copeland. That it's just that outside to inside movement that really catches him off guard, and Nakazato has a little bit of less of that because of the way he's releasing the ball from the top above his head, but now another pitch is in. Copeland lifts this one. It looks like it won't even leave the infield as the shortstop's getting under it. And it's an infield fly call there, and runners will stay at first and second.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate right there. If you're the CBL, you really needed that pitch right there to go to the outfield, something in the gap, even a fly ball to center or right field, just to advance the runner and put yourself with 2 runners in scoring position instead of 1.
Gonna bring up Isaac Bonner, the second baseman. That pitch is in the dirt, and the runners will go, so the runners do advance eventually. Stolen base there for Hunter Babe and Eli McDonald. Off the pass ball by the catcher Romero.
Yeah, that'll be credited as a stolen base on a pass ball right there. That is not ideal if you're the Midwest Moo. If you're Nakazato, being able to bounce back from that wild pitch, do not let these 2 runners in scoring position get into your head and still go out there and trust your stuff.
So now Nakazato lines up the 1-0, I should say, and it's another pitch in the dirt, so it's 2-0. And we mentioned it, that the high release point, he's working at a downward angle that's unlike any other pitcher that we've really seen in the whole Corn Belt League. So, I mean, we're expecting a lot of pitches in the dirt, and with the turf, it's a little bit easier to read the bounce. It's not like a dirt bounce where it could bounce on a piece of gravel or something like that. As that pitch just hits the outside line there for a strike, so it'll be 2-1. Got runners on second and third. It's McDonald and Babe there. Babe's on third, McDonald's on second, both of them stealing after runners on first and second there. Bonner's at the plate here. And that pitch is hit. Lined up the gap. Will it get through? Yes, it will. What a play that is from Isaac Bonner. Hits it sharply to the first baseman. Horn has to make a diving play, and it just ticks off the end of his glove, and he's unable to get on it. And then it rolls past the second baseman there, Correhays, who had already overcommitted.
Yeah, that was a really good ball placement right there on that hit. That was a good pull side hit right there. Got just enough of the gap to where it split this first baseman to where he couldn't get a glove on it, but then it hit his glove and went right past the second baseman. Planted perfectly, a run scored, and now the CBL have got things rolling. Runners on the corners with 1 out.
Yeah, it'll be an infield hit there for Isaac Bonner. It'll bring up Derek Siegner, the catcher, showing bunt early. Runners on the corners. First runner goes. They fake the throw down. And heading to second there is Bonner. So smart play there. Moves Bonner to second. So now 2 runners in scoring position. You've got McDonald on third. Bonner on second here for Derek Siegner. And if Siegner reaches, I would expect a pinch runner in for him. As Siegner hits this one, it's a chopper, but it goes foul.
Yeah, that stolen base a couple pitches ago was really unfortunate if you're the Midwestern Moo. You wanted to keep the runners on the corners right there with 1 out as a double ball play is in effect. And I'm really surprised how the catcher didn't throw down right there to kind of catch him. But that also would allow Johnston Hobbs to send the runner right there on that steal. So it's a 50-50 bang-bang.
That pitch is outside there. Siegner able to watch it in the glove of Romero. So it'll put the count at, I believe, 1-2. Now 1-2. Nakazato looking to put him away, but Siegner lifts this one. Will it go out of play? Yes, it will on the right field side. Almost hits the food tent again. No, you're there internally crying, Ethan, but it avoids it.
We got to save the food tent. That food is really good. Like I said, shout out to the Summer Ball Showdown for providing some really good food over there in the tent, making sure these Omaha boys stay fed. We got to protect the food at all costs.
1-2, the count is again here for Siegner. Working against Nakazato. This one hit to the shortstop. Running home is McDonald. He will score. And the throw is errant. And it's an errant throw. Advancing to second. Siegner's pushing for 2. So it'll be runners on second and third again for the leadoff hitter, Danny Spongberg.
Yeah, that's just an unfortunate play right there if you're the shortstop. That is a play that you need to get out of this inning. You almost have to wonder if he was focusing too much on the runner coming home and wasn't able to get his eyes from the runner going home to the throw to first and just threw it into the first base dugout, which is unfortunate right there for the Midwest Moo. That's a really tough break that gives the CBL another run. And that's just a hole that you don't want to dig yourself out of.
Yeah, 2-0 the score is. We've seen Hunter Babe score as well as Eli McDonald score, and we got Bonner on third, Siegner on second for the leadoff hitter, and Danny Spongberg. Spongberg watches the first pitch in for a strike. The Corn Belt League slowly picking things up here in the second inning. Nakazato lines up the 0-1. It's outside for 1-1.
Now, this offense for the CBL All-Star team is really deep. They can go 1 through 9, and then the next day have a completely different lineup and go 1 through 9 again. So they really are an opponent's and pitcher's worst nightmare.
Nakazato lines up the 1-1 here. Big cut there by Spongberg. Will it drop in left field? Yes, it will. 1 run scores. Looks like they're going to hold up a runner there at third. And Spongberg, with his speed, gets to second in time. What a great hustle play there from Danny Spongberg. Knew he could take the extra base and did it there. So it'll be a double for Danny Spongberg. It'll bring up Peyton Blinn. And Spongberg gets the RBI there as Bonner comes in to score.
He caught the defense sleeping right there, and his speed is such a factor. He knew immediately once he got that ball that he was going to be rounding first and getting to second. Hobbs didn't even have to give him the sign. He just knew he was going to be taking second right there.
Yeah, so it's Spongberg on second. I was very surprised they did not put in a pinch runner for Siegner, because if you had someone that was a little bit faster there, even a Nick Cannon there, who's another catcher, as the first pitch to Blinn is outside, that definitely could have been a 2 RBI double there for Spongberg, but instead it's runners on second and third for Peyton Blinn, as the count currently sits 1-0.
Yeah, this is not what you wanted if you're Nakazawa. You had a really brilliant first inning out on the mound, and then things have started to get away from you.
There's another pitch just outside, unable to frame it there correctly is Romero, so it's now 2-0.
This is a 23-pitch inning right here for Nakazawa. He came into the inning with 17, and right now he just hit the 40-pitch mark, which is not ideal.
Yeah, not the situation you want to be in if you're Nakazawa. As there's another pitch outside, so it's 3-0, and Nakazawa seems to have lost his control here. I wonder if they're going to go out for a mound meeting or just let him ride this one out. He pitched efficiently yesterday against the Mid-Crest Pumas, but you're facing an entirely different team, and pitching on back-to-back todays, no matter how many pitches you throw, is always going to be tough. As there's another pitch in the dirt, so it'll be a walk. Bases are loaded here. Siegner on third, Spongberg on second, now Blinn on first, and just the guy you want up if you're the Corn Belt League, Brendan Anderson.
Yeah, Nakazawa threw 4 1/3 innings of work, 4 walks, 4 hits, no strikeouts, 41 pitches. And your defense has also given you 2 errors as well, so you haven't really been able to rely on your defense. You've had off and on command since the first inning, and you just haven't really been able to solidify a strikeout pitch.
Yeah, and so there's a mound meeting taking place now, just the infield discussing with Nakazawa. No manager out there. And it looks like they're all set to go here with Nakazawa, just trying to figure out how they want to pitch to Brendan Anderson. As Spongberg heads over to second base after a quick chat with Sonny Sunigal there, the first base coach. Hobbs there at third base, Johnston Hobbs with the champion fifth baller. Sunigal with the second place Omaha Black Sox, who were seeded second place, eventually lost in the semifinals to the eventual runner-up, the Omaha Haymakers. As that pitch just on the outside line there against Brendan Anderson, so it's 0-1.
That's the pitch right there you need if you're Nakazawa. That's a very brilliant first pitch setting on the outside half. Great velocity right there on that fastball.
And Brendan Anderson rips this one into left center field. Will the left fielder get there? Yes, they will. Tagging up there is Siegner. He'll get to home in time. Spongberg's going to run to third. So a nice little double tag there for Anderson, who flies out to left field, but he does his job with the sac fly.
Yeah, that was a great heads-up play right there by the left fielder, getting that ball in as quickly as possible. Did a good job of limiting damage, as Danny Spongberg could have easily tagged from second all the way home. That was a good job right there by the left fielder and getting that ball all the way in and limiting damage.
So now you got runners on the corners here. Spongberg's on third. Blinn is on first. Brendan Anderson with the sac fly to bring in one. It's now 3-0. 4-0 the score is. Runner goes. And now you got 2 runners in scoring position. Blinn on second, Spongberg on third for Spencer Crane, another one of these power hitters for the Corn Belt League.
Yeah, 2 through 5 for this Corn Belt League lineup is dangerous. They can all hit for power. They can also all hit for contact, and they have the RBIs to prove it.
There's a foul just directly behind Spencer Crane, and like you mentioned, I mean, Blinn, Anderson, Crane, Babe, I'd be okay with putting any of them in the cleanup spot, really.
Right.
They're all good hitters.
Right, you can interchange those 3 guys right there, and it'll be just as effective as the next guy.
Now we're working here with a 1-1. That pitch is hit into foul territory. Looks like it's 0-2 the count. Nakazawa lines up the 0-2 here. Big swing and a miss there from Spencer Crane, so he goes down on 3 strikes from Nakazawa, but the damage is done. The Corn Belt League get 4 there in the bottom of the second. We'll head to the top of the third. The Midwest Moos try and recapture some of their deficit when we return. We're back here. Zane Layden still dealing on the mound. 24 pitches through 2 innings, through 14 in the first inning, 10 in the second inning. And he goes to work again against Brandon Bentley. He's retired the 6 batters he's faced, but in very, very interesting ways. We saw Cora Hayes reach on a leadoff walk and then got caught stealing. We saw catcher interference for Coyne, who then grounded out into a fielder's choice. And then Romero, who hit the fielder's choice, grounded out into a double play. So Layden getting a lot of help from that defense as the first pitch is in the dirt for 1-0. Brandon Bentley on the year, hitting .268, 3 doubles, 1 home run. Brings a little bit of power there to the bottom of this lineup as he lifts this one up on the press box. You hear it hit the roof, and he'll work from the 1-1 now.
I don't know if I was ready to catch that foul ball right there. I was ready. I was locked in. I was ready. I was going to make that play.
I don't doubt it. If only the roof was open here and this wasn't air conditioned,
I would have made that play.
You would have made that play.
It's like Savannah Bananas rule. If a fan makes a catch, it's an out.
Yeah, you really would have helped Layden out there if that was true. But instead, now it's a 1-2 count as that pitch is fouled off from Brandon Bentley. No one on for the leadoff man in the third.
Could you imagine if they implemented Savannah Banana rules into like the Corn Belt League or like a tournament like this?
I think that would be a lot of chaos. A lot of chaos because then you don't know who's catching, who's trying to drop things. As there's a strikeout swinging. Bentley tried to check his swing on a pitch high and inside, but Zane Layden does a great job changing the eye levels and gets the second strikeout of the day.
Yeah, that was one of those pitches. If you're the hitter that really fumbles, it makes you kind of roll the dice. And if you land on a 6, you got to swing. And apparently he landed on a 6. So then he had to swing. So that was a check swing. It's not what you want right there if you're the Midwestern Moos. That's a leadoff strikeout.
That pitch just catching the outside line. He's working against Jace Horn, the 9-spot hitter. 2 strikeouts on the day for Layden. And this one hit deep into left field, making a diving catch and just fumbling it out of the glove there is the left fielder Caleb Copeland trying to make a Tanner Black-esque play, but unable to do it and heading to second base there is Jace Horn. First hit of the day for the Midwestern Moos.
Arnav, you were almost on SportsCenter again. That was one of those plays where that could have been a SportsCenter top 10 play right there if we had cameras. But my gosh, what an effort right there.
I mean, Caleb Copeland did an amazing job of tracking that ball. I thought he timed his dive just perfectly. It looks like it just hit off the tip of his glove. If he had just an inch or two to the left there to the starting position, he would have been in perfect position to make that play.
The outfielders that we have assembled for the CBL All-Star team, they are very good defensively.
Very good defensively, and then you got a good mix of players at the plate too. Spongberg hits for contact. You got power hitters in Crane and Anderson. You got Copeland, another one of those hit for contact with speed guys. Just a lot of versatility in this outfield. They can do just about anything you ask them for. There's a guy who can do it there in those 3 spots. As the count is now 0-2 after a foul ball. Got a runner on second here in Jace Horn, reaching on that double. Andrew Brown, the center fielder, at the bottom of the lineup in the 9 spot. He lifts this one into left center. Getting under it there is Spongberg, able to make the catch. Holds a runner at second, and it'll bring up top of the lineup and Corey Hayes.
That was really good bat discipline right there. Even though the ball was a fly out to the 8 spot, that was very good bat discipline. He was able to keep his bat through the zone nice and steady, get his hands to the ball. He took that heat perfectly and let the ball travel to the bat. That's key if you're this Midwestern Moo lineup today. If you can get the bat to the ball in time, and he did that there. Fortunately, it wasn't deep enough for Jace Horn to advance to third base, but that was very good plate discipline right there.
It'll bring up the top of the lineup and Nate Corhays, the second baseman. And he'll swing at the first base. This one popped up. It's in play for the catcher, and making the play there is the catcher Siegner, so it'll be no runs for the Midwestern Moos, but they get their first hit of the game there from a Jace Horn double. We'll head to the bottom of the third. Corn Belt League trying to add on to this 4-0 lead. We are back here, bottom of the third, coming up for the Corn Belt League All-Stars, and they did their damage there in the fourth with a 4-run second, I should say. They're going to try and make it into 4-run third here. Got another hitter who started off the last inning, Hunter Babe, coming up here. Last time up, Hunter Babe walked and then scored a run after 2 stolen bases. Babe, a big swing and a miss there. So it's 0-1 the count on Babe.
I kind of like the move by the Midwest Moo, to keep Nakazato out there on the mound. You're trying to save your bullpen guys. This is pretty much the key to this tournament. You play a lot of games. You want to keep your pieces healthy. I kind of like the move by the Midwest Moo here.
Yeah, I mean, you save your ace for that the third game, I should say, that starts single elimination. That's a lot more important than this game is, really. All this game is used for is run differential and seeding, so we'll see how the Moos attack this one from a pitching staff standpoint. As the count is 0-2 here. And that pitch is low in the dirt, so it's now 1-2. Hunter Babe leading off the third inning for the Corn Belt League All-Stars.
That was the mid-century mark for Nakazato right there on his pitch count.
Nakazato sitting at 50 pitches. 9 more. He'll match Aaron Madden's total through 4 last inning. As there's a hit into left field. Good shot there. Good piece of hitting there from Hunter Babe with 2 strikes to poke that one outside past the outstretched glove of Townsley, and he'll head to first.
It's been really interesting to see these Corn Belt guys taking Nakazato opposite field here. They're going a little Oppo Taco. It's like a Taco Bell deal going on out here for the CBL team. They've been able to work the Oppo side, which is kind of weird because this pitcher isn't throwing that fast, so you think you'd want to turn on that ball. But, yeah, they've been going a little Oppo Taco out here off of Nakazato.
A little bit of rhyming there from Ethan McCormick, but it'll bring up the number 6 hitter in Eli McDonald. And there's a ball that's lost by the catcher, so advancing to second, there's Hunter Babe. So now you have runner on second in scoring position for McDonald. Potential squeeze bunt opportunity here for the speedy third baseman.
Yeah, the Corn Belt, they are aggressive on the base pass. They do not like that double play ball, and I don't blame them. And it puts the Midwestern Moo in a real tough spot defensively.
There's a pitch straight down the middle from Nakazato for 1-1. And you mentioned it going opposite field. Also, the biggest thing is now that you're second time through the lineup, you've seen the pitcher, you've seen the slow release point, and you're kind of getting used to it now. As there's a pitch and it's a pickoff, and the move is there in time. Looks like they're gonna call it a balk here, yeah. As advancing to third now is Hunter Babe.
Yeah, that was a really interesting call. That move looked legal to me. It looked like he was able to get his leg up and do a nice little turn, but apparently the umpire ruled that he took that forward move home.
So now McDonald lifts this one into right center field. Will it drop? Yes, it will. One run will score. McDonald with the RBI single into right center.
Like I said, it's an Oppo Taco party out here. Is it Tuesday? Because it's like Taco Tuesday out here. Another really good job right there by the CBL guys to get another opposite field hit. They are just utilizing that opposite field. They're sitting back on the ball, and they're taking these boys Oppo.
Hunter Babe comes around from third to score. You've got runner on first here. No outs for Caleb Copeland. Copeland last time up popped out to the shortstop. He caught a good piece of that ball, but was just under it and lifted it about 300 feet in the air and only about 100 feet out. So right to where the shortstop was, kind of like your drives on the golf course, Ethan, about 100 yards forward and 300 yards to the right.
We're going to talk about the last time that we golfed, Arnav. I carried you. I was hitting some bombs down the middle of the fairway, and you were hitting houses.
Well, let's not talk about the house damage I've created in Omaha. We've got a runner on first here. As this one stuck right up the gap, it hits off the glove of Nakazato. He's scrambling to get the out at first. He will get the out at first, but Copeland advances the runner. It'll bring up Isaac Bonner with a runner on second here. So now with one out, Cornwall looking at their 8-hitter Isaac Bonner to produce some offense.
Pitcher's field, too. That was a really good job right there by Nakazato, staying concentrated on that ball. It hit off his glove. He might have been better off letting that ball go up the middle as the second baseman was tracking that, but that was a really good concentration right there by Nakazato on getting that out.
Bonner lifts this one foul behind the plate. And it'll be 0-1 here. Yeah, just like you mentioned, the second baseman there, Corey Hayes, was closing on it, and Corey Hayes has a lot of speed there. Ability to turn that double play for Corey Hayes. But instead, Nakazato gets a sure out at first, as there's a pitch in the dirt. And Isaac Bonner gets back in that left side batter's box. Box, I should say, not balk. Still thinking about that balk that advanced Hunter Babe to third earlier this inning.
Once you think baseball, it doesn't leave.
This one, Nakazato steps off the mound here, looks back at McDonald at second base, and McDonald will return. McDonald, a hefty leadoff here. He's got a decent amount of speed. You could expect a steal attempt sooner or later, as that pitch is in there for a strike, so it's 1-2. Nakazato now sitting at 58 pitches, thrown 11 in this inning, and recorded one out, runner on second. Giving up one run as well. There's another pitch in the dirt. So it's now 2-2. Bonner, a good job to work the strike count even here. With 2-2, Nakazato lines it up here. McDonald's on second. One out. And lifting this one is Isaac Bonner into left center field. Getting under it there is the center fielder. Tagging up is McDonald. No, he will return. So that's another out there for the Corn Belt League All-Stars. It's a fly out to center field for the second out of the inning. And it'll hold McDonald at second. Good movement there from Brown to get under it, get a running start on that ball, and be able to launch it back into the infield to hold McDonald.
Yeah, the ball is dying here on this field. The wind must be blowing in straight from left field, which is absolutely killing these balls. That's not the first time that we've seen a ball die going into left field.
Big cut and a miss there from Brennan Anderson. Sorry, Derek Siegner got number 33 and number 15 confused there. Both of them filth ballers. Siegner batting in the 9 spot here. Not the fastest guy. We saw him score a run earlier after he reached on an error, and he's now behind 0-2 in the count. So 2 outs, runner on second in McDonald. Siegner's looking to advance him at the very least. Big cut, and he'll go to the shortstop, able to make the play there. Is the shortstop Townsley, and that'll be the end of the inning for the Corn Belt League. But they score one here in the bottom of the third. We'll head to the top of the fourth for the Midwestern Moos. We're going to see the second hitter, 2-3-4 coming up, in Townsley Hamilton and Mickey Coyne when we return. Top of the fourth coming up for the Midwest Moos. But if you hear the name Corn Belt for the first time, let's talk about a little bit about what the Corn Belt League is, Ethan. Start off with what the Corn Belt season really was like this summer.
It was a fun summer. They played about 25 to 28 games this summer. They start in early June, and it's really not a taxing schedule. Yeah, they play 25 to 28 games with an end-of-the-season tournament. It's comprised of 92 different colleges, universities that were represented amongst 192 players.
Yeah, as this one is lifted and looks like it is caught there by the center fielder, Spongberg. So the leadoff hitter, Joel Townsley, takes the first pitch high to center field. Gonna bring up Matt Hamilton, the third baseman. But yeah, like you were saying, the Corn Belt League, 25 to 28 games, 92 different colleges or universities were represented amongst the 192 players. And Ethan, we got to broadcast a lot of it.
Yeah, we did. We were along with the great Jane Taylor, Tyler Reedy, Brandon Priesman. We were alongside some really great announcers this year, and it was an honor being able to work with those guys.
First pitch fouled there from Hamilton. A lot of good broadcasting experience that we gained. Obviously, you're going to UNK. I'm going to be heading to Syracuse. Both of us studying sports communications or something along that field. So a good way for us to get experience in that field. And we were also on SportsCenter Top 10 there. The Corn Belt League had a play from Tanner Black that we mentioned earlier in this broadcast. Tanner Black diving in center field on his way back to the wall with his back turned to home plate. A diving catch over the shoulder. Put my voice on SportsCenter in one of the coolest moments of my life. As there's a pitch way outside from Zane Layden. It'll be 1-1.
I was really proud of you, Arnav.
You know, that means a lot. That does mean a lot, considering that, you know, it was a long season, and I got to work with a lot of good players and saw a lot of good plays, and just getting that recognition there, not just for me, but for the whole Corn Belt League, just an amazing experience.
Yeah, it was a really fun summer. It was an honor working with such a talented group of people. Shout out to the director, Casey Siwa and Joe Siwa, for putting on such an amazing league this summer.
That pitch is just missing the outside line from Zane Layden, so Matt Hamilton with one out, unable to draw the walk there. Sorry, Layden unable to draw the strikeout, I should say. Hamilton now working from a 2-2. This one will go foul. So 2-2 again here for Hamilton. If you're Layden here, you're sitting at 2-2. You got a pitch to throw away. I say put one low in the dirt, see if he chases.
Yeah, if you're Hamilton, sit off speed. Be ready for that changeup. Lane has command problems with that changeup. Sometimes he struggles with it on the vertical game. But if you're Hamilton, sit on that changeup.
This one, another foul ball there. Layden sitting at 41 pitches now on the day, 27 strikes, only 14 balls.
Very efficient strike to ball ratio, and he's been able to keep the walks down. He only has 2 strikeouts, but he has only allowed 1 walk, and he still has not allowed a hit.
I might correct you there. There was a double in the third
bad.
inning from Jace Horn. That is only 1 hit, though.
Yeah,
So
but still, that's very effective.
It's very effective pitching here from Zane Layden. Big swing and a miss there for a strikeout, and just like, as you say, he's only got 2. He adds to that total, make it 3 strikeouts for Zane Layden, and he strikes out Matt Hamilton. It'll bring up the Arkansas State player, Mickey Coyne, number 9. Number 21, I should say, playing the number 9 position in right field. He can also pitch. He can play in the infield anywhere, really. So a utility player who's probably the best player on this Midwest Moos team.
This is a matchup. This is my matchup of the game right here. You got Zane Layden on the mound, who's been dealing, and then you got the D1 baseball player right here in Coyne, and we'll see if he's able to work a good pitch count here.
And unfortunately, first pitch way inside from Layden, and he'll walk Mickey Coyne. Sorry, he'll hit Mickey Coyne with the ball, and Mickey Coyne will walk to first base. So a hit by pitch there from Layden. Really the first true mistake we've seen from him all game. Hasn't really left many pitches hanging. We saw him hang a curveball or hang a changeup against Jace Horn, but other than that, it seems as though Layden's been under control pretty strongly, and it'll bring up A.J. Romero, the catcher. Number 17, A.J. Romero. I sum up A.J. Romero. Reached on a fielder's choice and then grounded into it. Sorry, was called out on a double play there. The first pitch is in there for a strike.
Yeah, good job right there by Zane Layden getting ahead. He's really solidifying that fastball. Everything, if your Layden, works around that fastball, that electric fastball, which tops out around 85-90.
This one grounded to second base. The play is at first, and it is made, and that will be the end of the inning. One player reaches. That's Mickey Coyne, who reached on a hit by pitch. But other than that, Layden has been pretty efficient, keeping his pitch count very low. He's at 45 pitches through 4 innings for him. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th. Corn Belt League leading 5-0. We're back here. New pitcher in for the Midwestern Moos. We were wondering when they were going to pull Nakazato, and after the pitch count got a little bit too high, I believe he was sitting around 63 pitches total. They decided to pull him. They're bringing Cody Lozano. Cody Lozano mainly plays catcher. 2 appearances in the KCLB season, 1 start, only went 5.1 innings, 5 1/3 innings, gave up 9 hits, 5 earned runs. That's an ERA of 8.43. They're going to turn to him out of the bullpen today, see what he can do against a very tough Corn Belt League team to pitch against.
Yeah, this will be a very tough outing right here for Lozano, and we'll see if he can just establish confidence out of the mound, keep his cool, keep his composure. Don't let these Corn Belt guys get into his head, which they are a very good job at. But we'll see if he can utilize that defense. His defense has made 2 errors today, but we'll see if he can trust his defense.
So after batting 2 times through the lineup, Nakazawa gets pulled, and Lozano gets top of the order here in Danny Spongberg. First pitch is fouled off for 0-1.
This is not the player or the hitter you want to face coming out in relief if you're Lozano. This guy's a very dangerous hitter. He's got the speed. He's got the at bats. This is a dangerous hitter.
And a bunt attempt there from Spongberg, trying to catch that defense off guard and use his speed to his advantage. Unfortunately, drawn foul, so it'll be 0-2.
That was a very good pitch right there for Lozano, forcing the ball to the outside half of the plate. He did a really good job of forcing Spongberg to go get to that ball, which is key, and he was able to force it foul. That's a really good job right there by Lozano, setting up an 0-2 count, which takes away the bunt game in its entirety.
Yeah, so now Spongberg working from way behind with 0-2, and that pitch hits him. So at an 0-2 count, Lozano hits Spongberg, and Spongberg will head to first. And just like yesterday, Spongberg keeping up his hit-by-pitch streak as well. He's been hit by pitch in 2 straight games.
I believe Spongberg has got on almost every single time he's taken a plate appearance this tournament so far.
Yeah, yesterday he got on base all 4 times. He had 2 hits and 2 hit-by-pitches. Today he's got on base 2 out of the 3 times now. He had a double in the second inning, but he did ground out to the shortstop in the first inning. So, I mean, 6 out of 7 times is an incredible on-base percentage there for Spongberg. And a pickoff attempt there from Lozano is not in time. Spongberg able to get back. You know Spongberg's itching for that stolen base streak to continue, so he wants that stolen base here. Sitting at 11 games now, I believe it is. That stolen base streak is. It was 8 at the end of the regular season for the Bombers, 2 in the playoffs, and then 1 in this Wichita tournament. Looking to make it 2 here, make it 12.
He's got to be really careful, though, because he did get picked off yesterday on his first time around the base path, so he's got to be careful. He's got to watch the pitcher's feet and see if he does a little jump spin move here.
And there goes Spongberg. Catcher gets up in time. The throw is down, but it's mishandled by the shortstop there, Townsley. And just like we were talking about, Spongberg gets his stolen base. Stolen base streak extends to 12 for Danny Spongberg. He's on second base.
That was really good pop time right there by the catcher. That was a really good job of getting that ball down there. Wasn't able to put the ball into the pocket of the runner going into the base, but that was still a really good pop time. Unleashed his cannon. That was a really impressive arm right there. And that was a really good job of setting up on the outer half of the plate to also kind of assume that Spongberg was going to run.
Yeah, now Spongberg at second. This one hit, chopped to the second baseman. Blenn's going to hustle at first, but he'll be called out, advancing Spongberg to third. So now with 1 out, runner on third for Brendan Anderson.
This is where Brendan Anderson shines right here with runners on scoring position, or ISP if you're one of those baseball stat nerds like I am. This is where Brendan Anderson shines. This is where he likes to put the ball in play, and this is where he likes to showcase that power.
Brendan Anderson on the day, he's reached on a walk and then had a sac fly to bring in a run there. Brought in that 4th run for the Corn Belt League. Siegner was at third base, and he hit it deep enough to where Siegner could make it to home on time. Siegner not the fastest guy on this team. As the first pitch misses for ball 1. Lozano able to get out of Peyton Blenn's at bat with a ground out to the second baseman, but after going ahead 0-2, it's been rough there. Hit by pitch on Spongberg, and then Blenn just has a weak contact shot there to second base, and now it's 1-1 against Brendan Anderson. He's able to fire in a curve there for a strike.
That was a really nice curveball right there. It was a little slow. That's an easy pitch to read right there if you're the CBL hitters, but that was a really nice pitch. You could almost see that wrist flick come off of Lozano right there.
The fastball low and outside. Good look there from Brendan Anderson to make it 2-1.
The key to a pitcher is working around a pitch. You always want to work around one pitch, your most dominant pitch, right? So you always want to work around this one pitch. And for Lozano, it seems to be that curveball. That curveball seems to be his highest commanded pitch.
This one chopped back to the pitcher. Lozano able to close it. He flips it to home. In there in time is Danny Spongberg. So the RBI single for Brendan Anderson. What a play that was. And what an interesting decision there from Lozano to not take the runner out at first and try and flick it home for an out.
Right. I'm surprised how he didn't take the guaranteed out, and I'm surprised how Danny Spongberg didn't slide there. That was a closer play than I think he thought it was going to be. I don't think he was expecting Lozano to pull a little Bieber little flip to first base right there like he pulled off a couple weeks ago against the Kansas City Royals. Shout out to Tyler Reedy, but I don't know if he was expecting that to be a play at home plate, but I'm surprised how Lozano did not take that guaranteed out.
Yeah, so that poor decision there from Lozano means it's 6-0 Corn Belt League. Spongberg scores. Anderson will get credited with that RBI as he just hit a chopper at first, to the pitcher, and I'm pretty sure Anderson thought that was out, and instead the pitcher decides to take it home, and too slow for the speedy Spongberg. This one lifted high by Spencer Crane. It's three players converging on it in center field. Making the catch there is the second baseman, Corey Hayes, for the second out. So pop out there to the second baseman means Spencer Crane's retired. You bring up Hunter Babe, the 5-spot hitter, with Anderson on first.
If Lozano can do that every time, he will be a very effective. That will work every time, getting those little pop-ups that barely get out of the infield. That's very effective work right there. He takes enough off of that fastball where it allows the hitters to get out in front of it and pop it up.
Pickoff throw to Anderson at first, not in time. He gets back, and once again, Anderson not known for speed, but definitely faster than a few other guys on this Corn Belt League team, so you got to look out for him on the base paths. And potential hit and run situation here if you can try and catch this Moos defense lacking. Another pitch outside for 1-0.
The Moos defense has had a really good control on the run game, but this CBL team is so fast. But shout out to the defense and the catcher behind the plate for the Moo today who's been able to limit the run game as much as possible.
Babe now working from a 1-0. He pulls this one. Will it stay fair? Yes, it will. It is fair. And chugging around to third base and going home here is Brendan Anderson. I didn't think this would reach the corner, but it does. Pushing for third base there. And in there, not in time, so he will be called out at third. That's unfortunate there, but one run does score. Brendan Anderson from first base comes all the way around to home. It's an RBI double for Hunter Bay, but then he gets caught out at third base. He got around the tag there. He kind of did a slide and then a reach around to try and get around the tag, but the tag applied in the correct spot from Hamilton, and we'll head to the top of the fifth inning. Corn Belt leads 7-0. Now for the Midwest Moos, number 15, the designated hitter, Brady Johnson. Mostly a catcher here for Southwestern College. The Mound Builders would love to mention that name. As Layden still chugging along in efficiency, sitting at 47 pitches after that first pitch was in there for a strike. 14 pitches in the first inning, then 10, 10, and 12. Just an incredibly efficient outing here from Layden. We'll see if they pull him after 5. They want to keep him rested and ready for this single elimination tournament, as this one's popped out to the second baseman, Isaac Bonner, getting under it to make the catch. So it's one away here for the Moos. Going to bring up number 3, Brennan Bentley, the left fielder. Bentley on the day, a strikeout swinging against Layden earlier, so he'll be looking for some revenge here. Big cut there from Bentley, but it's fouled directly behind us. It'll be 0-1.
Yeah, this could be another potential inning where Lane keeps his pitch count below 15.
He's done it in all 4, so we'll see if he can make it 5 out of 5 here, as he's sitting at 0-1. That pitch just missing the outside line there. Just caught that batter's box a little bit too much and unable to frame it correctly there with Siegner, so it'll be 1-1.
That was the mid-century mark right there in pitch count for Zane Layden.
50 pitches on the day, but he's made it through 5. We saw Nakazato hit 50 pitches in the second inning, so not the worst thing in the world here to be at 50 through 5 for Zane Layden. We'll see if they pull him after this. I'm expecting they will. Potentially see Aiden Erbaum or CJ Fleeman, as well as Theo Hughes, all potential options here for the Corn Belt League, and maybe even more that I'm forgetting. As that one's another foul ball high and out of play there on the left side, so it'll be 2-2 coming up for Brandon Bentley.
Good patience out here by Brandon Bentley. He's been sitting on lane stuff. He's been prepared, and he's been reading that arm angle. You can tell he's watching that arm angle very, very closely coming out of the hand, and he's been getting that plant foot down in a really good amount of time, and you can tell he's ready to just unload on one at any moment.
Bentley, another chopper there that goes foul, so he's staying alive here at the 2-2 count. Layden now sitting at 53 on the pitch count, but he looks well rested here. You saw him work at BP there. If you were watching the Corn Belt League Instagram page, we posted up a mic'd up with Coach Hobbs. He was in the pen working with Layden. Just working on where he's releasing that ball as this one is lifted into short center field and making it, dropping it in shallow center field is Spongberg. They're going to be able to get the out at second here. One of the most interesting plays I've seen there from Spongberg. Spongberg looked way too casual there, trying to make the catch and look cool at the same time, unable to do it. But the Corn Belt League gets lucky in the fact that the runner takes off for second, and Spencer Crane's able to make the throw there 2 seconds in time.
Yeah, that was one of those plays where if you're Danny Spongberg, you almost got too comfortable. But I don't know what the Midwestern Moos first base coach was thinking right there, sending him to second. I mean, the ball was right in front of the bag.
There's a swing that's chopped on, hit to the third baseman, McDonald, and making the play for 3 outs there. One of the most interesting plays I've ever seen there from Spongberg, who mishandled the ball there. He's definitely going to get chewed out by Hobbs there in the dugout. But able to get 3 outs there is the Corn Belt League. And we're going to keep it here, talk a little bit more about the Corn Belt League. Take a quick break. We'll be back in about 30 to 45 seconds. We are back here talking about the Corn Belt League experience and what a season it was in the Corn Belt League. But one of the biggest things that we owe thanks to, especially throughout the whole Corn Belt League, is the host families. You know, we had 80 players come in from out of state. There were over 30 host families this summer that hosted 1 or 2 kids here from each team or a few teams. And really, we owe a lot of success to them because without them, we would be unable to host these players, and the Corn Belt League wouldn't really have the talent that it does have already.
For sure. Shout out to those host families. Thank you for giving these players the opportunity to showcase their stuff in Omaha while giving them a safe and comfortable place to live. But the CBL is a league where all games are played in Omaha, so this gives players the opportunity to work out with full access to the Strike Zone Baseball Academy. They've got batting cages, turf tunnels, dirt mounds, weight room, anything a ball player needs and can utilize to his or her ability to perform their best out on the field.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about the Corn Belt League. Obviously, Omaha, big baseball city. You got the College World Series there, too. I mean, you get to experience the College World Series, work a job, a lot of opportunities available in Omaha for employment. So a huge success there by the Corn Belt League to get people involved. As Eli McDonald is up to bat now in the bottom of the 5th. Takes the first pitch here for a ball, so it's 1-0. There's another pitch that catches the inside line for 1-1.
I like Lozano's like presence on the mound. He has a good presence on the mound. He's doing a really good job of controlling the tempo. He's setting the tone for these CBL hitters.
He misses that one in the dirt, so it's 2-1. Another thing we'd love to mention with the Corn Belt League is the Cornfest All-Star Game. There are so many festivities that go on in that game. I mean, you see the corn cob eating contest that everyone was talking about, and then you got the in-state versus out-of-state game. As this ball is lifted into the right field line, and making the catch there in foul territory is the first baseman Horn. So the leadoff hitter Eli McDonald is out. And it'll bring up Caleb Copeland, who's 0 for 2 on the day. A pop out to the shortstop, and then a grounder right back to the pitcher, who then threw to first base for the out.
Lozano's been able to keep a low pitch count as well. That's 3 pitches, 3 outs. It's doing a really good job of working efficiently.
That pitch is in there for a strike. So it's 0-1. And you mentioned Lozano able to get a 3-pitch out there, working against Eli McDonald. Now up against Caleb Copeland, who struggled at the plate today. Almost made a great play out there in left field. He dove for the ball, just mistimed it by the tiniest amount. It hits off the top of his glove. Really nothing you could do about that one. He almost had that one.
I wish we had cameras so we could showcase how great of a play that could have been.
There's another pitch. Copeland pulls this one foul. Now the count sits at 0-2. And you mentioned Lozano's been able to get ahead of these hitters pretty often. So it'll be interesting to see how he attacks with his 0-2 pitch. A few pitches to waste, but he also wants to put him away early here in Copeland. No on, 1 out here for Copeland. Lozano lines up the 0-2. And Copeland hits this one off the end of the barrel, straight to the shortstop. Making the play there is the shortstop, getting him out in time. Good throw there from Townsley against a speedy Copeland. You don't have much time to transfer that ball over to your throwing hand. And able to get the play done and dusted. It'll bring up the 9-spot hitter, the 8-spot hitter, and Isaac Bonner.
That was a really good play right there by the shortstop. Good job of fielding the ball off the hop, attacking the ball. Coaches teach this at such a young age, attacking the ball, getting it off the first hop so it gives you time to make a play, and so you don't think about it too much. Good job of getting that ball and making a nice, strong throw.
Isaac Bonner on the day scored 1 run, also a fly out to center field. He reached on a single and then stole second base and then advanced to third on an error and then was brought home by that Danny Spongberg double. As currently the count sits 2-0 against Bonner with no on and 2 outs. With the Corn Belt League doing their damage, no runs in the bottom of the first. You got 4 runs bottom of the second, 1 run bottom of the third, 2 runs in the bottom of the fourth. As Bonner lifts this one into foul territory to be 2-1.
That ball was hit well.
Yeah, he sends a rocket. I think that one landed in the other field there. And throwing it back there, and it's coming back in. It's going to hit the dugout.
Oh.
And it's back in play.
It's in play, it's out of play, it's in play, it's out of play. I feel like I'm a pop artist from the 80s out here. In play, out of play, in play, out of play. It's like we need a disco ball up in this press box, Arnav. What do you say tomorrow? We stop at Hobby Lobby, we get a disco ball, and we make this press box a lot more fun.
You know, if we had a vehicle here, I would be totally down for it. But instead, it's a pitch inside there from Lozano. It's 3-1 now the count. But I mean, I'm always down to make things more lively in the press box. We saw it during the Corn Belt League season. We saw Max Coughlin wearing the corn hat. We had Tyler Reedy wearing the corn hat. Jaden Taylor looking like a camp counselor with his bucket hats on those certain occasions where he decided to wear them. As a ball is rocketed up the center field gap and reaching first base is Isaac Bonner. Second hit of the day for Bonner on a 3-1 count.
Exactly. There is no crying in baseball right there. And on that hit, you could totally tell that Isaac Bonner, was not crying. He had clear eyes and was able to take that one straight to center field. What bat discipline right there by Isaac Bonner.
Especially on a 3-1 count, you're sitting there not expecting a pitch you can really hit. The pitcher's trying to paint the corners here, trying to get you swinging on a pitch that you're going to miss on. And Bonner just saw it, his eyes lit up, and he hit that one right back up the middle.
It's like a kid in a candy store.
Bring up the 9-spot hitter, and Derek Siegner reached on an error by the shortstop and then grounded out to the shortstop. He did score a run on that sac fly from Brendan Anderson there in the second inning. 1 on and 2 outs. A runner at first is Isaac Bonner. A little bit of speed there from the second baseman. We could potentially see him swipe a bag here, and it looks like he will. He's got that jump lined up, but instead it's a check swing. And not going there for a 1-1 count here is Siegner.
He's dancing around out there, Isaac Bonner is, and you can tell he's itching to steal. You can tell he's itching to get those wheels turning, get those gears going. We'll see if they send him here.
And just on cue, they do send him. The pitch is in the dirt, and missing the throw there is the catcher, Romero, who's done so well. He's got a great pop time, does Romero. He gets up, and he gets the ball fired down, but that turns out to his downfall there as he throws that one away.
this catcher's got really good pop time. He's got a very good pop time. He's able to receive the ball nice into his chest, stand up really quickly and deliver a nice ball to second, but he hasn't been able to place it in the right spot. He's had these runners beat, but he hasn't been able to deliver an accurate throw.
Yeah, we saw him deliver one a little bit to the left on Spongberg's first steal of the game, and then we saw this one delivered a little bit to the right. So now it's a runner on second and Bonner, and that pitch catches the outside line for 1-2. Sorry, 2-2. Runner on second is Bonner here. 2 outs for the Corn Belt League. 2 balls, 2 strikes account for the number 2 position in the catcher, Derek Siegner. And returning to second base is Isaac Bonner. A lot of 2s there in that sequence.
There's been a lot of 2s all over the place. Danny Spongberg, 2-2-2-2-2. 2-2-2-2-2.
Yeah, Danny Spongberg, 2 stolen bases, 2-2 yesterday, 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored. As this one's hit up the gap, will it fall in shallow center? Yes, it will. And going home here is Bonner, and advancing to second base. And oh my goodness, this is an interesting turn of events here. First off, there's a player down in center field. Let's hope he's okay. Let's recap what just happened on that play. We saw Siegner lift one into shallow center field. Shortstop Townsley had it in his glove, but unfortunately there was a collision between him and the second baseman, Correhayes, that caused him to drop it. So then we saw Bonner advance from second all the way home. And then we saw Siegner advance to second base on the throw home to the catcher. And the catcher throws to second base and throws there again in time. But dropping the ball was the second baseman, Correayes. So an interesting turn of events there as Corn Belt League put up 8 here on the scoreboard.
I pray that everyone is okay for the Midwest Moos. That's a pretty scary sight to see players collide in the outfield. I pray that everybody's okay and everyone walks out of this safe. But that's really unfortunate. You got to give time for your players to get all situated and get kind of recover from what just happened. But that was really aggressive base running. That was really aggressive fielding. Good job by both teams on playing some really hard baseball.
And it looks like Townsley is up, moving a little bit pained here. He's grabbing that back where he landed after the collision with Correayes. Correayes looks good to go. But Townsley still looks in a little bit of pain, still trying to walk it off. So now you got runner on second and Siegner, 2 outs, and brings up leadoff man and Danny Spongberg. First pitch is in there for a strike. Spongberg showed bunt. He's done that the last at-bat as well. So Siegner on second. Spongberg trying to push Siegner home. This pitch lifted into center field. Spongberg got all of that one, but it's going to go out of play here. Sorry, not out of play. It's going to be caught by the center fielder, Brown. And that will be it for the Corn Belt League. They get 1 run in the bottom of the 5th, make it 8-0 the score. We'll head to break and be back with the Midwestern Moos at the top of the 6th. back here. Top of the 6th inning coming up for the Midwestern Moos. Still struggling to find any offense against Zane Layden, who I believe threw a solid inning there. I believe it was 12 pitches in the last inning, but I'm going to wait for Ethan to confirm that here. As we see the leadoff hitter for the Midwestern Moos is Andrew Brown, the 9-spot hitter. Showing bunt, and the pitch is low and away. On the 1-0 count, the bunt is laid down, is right to Layden. A lot of speed there, but the throw is made in time from Zane Layden, and so it's 1-3 to get out Andrew Brown. And Andrew Brown was flying down that first base line.
Flying down that baseline, but it was a really good job right there by Zane Layden to maintain composure, dealing with the fast runner going down the line. That was a really good job right there. Now the CBL has one out, and Layden threw 2 pitches.
Came into this inning with 55 pitches thrown. Now it's sitting at 57. Pitch on the outside line, just missing. A check swing there from the leadoff hitter, Nate Corhayes. Corhayes on the day reached first base on a walk in the first inning and was caught stealing. As this pitch is misread in right field by Spencer Crane and bouncing over the wall for a ground rule double. So this is the first time we've really seen Zane Layden get pieced up.
Yeah, that was really good job right there by the hitter. He was able to pull that ball effectively. It was just a misread right there by Spencer Crane. Probably lost it in the sun. Maybe the wind was affecting it a little bit. That was a really good job by Corhayes right there to just take that ball, take what Layden was giving him, and give the Moo a runner in scoring position right here with one out.
Yeah, just like you mentioned, with one out here in the top of the 6th inning. Got Corhayes on second. Townsley up to bat now. Layden only thrown 5 pitches this inning. And that one way inside. Looks like Layden slowly losing that command that he was riding on for the first 5 innings.
Yeah, and if you're Johnston Hobbs, you want to watch Layden here. You want to be able to monitor him on the mound as Layden delivers a ball high, and it was fouled off right there by Townsley. That was a really good job of raising the eye level. But if you're Hobbs, you want to monitor Layden out on the mound. You want to, if he starts to get tired, you want to recognize that and get someone up in the bullpen and get someone going to see if you can bring him out. And Layden's got to be able to maintain a pitch here. Let's see if he can hit the outer half. As he throws one right down the middle, is another foul ball to the first base side right there by Townsley. Good job to battle back right here by Layden. That's a really good job working the count back to even on a 2-2 count. Let's see if he can utilize that breaking ball that he likes to work his game around of as a put-away pitch.
So now with the 2-2 count, Layden gets pieced up here. This one's lifted into center field. Closing in on it is Spongberg. Making the catch there, Spongberg, and he'll hold Corhayes at second. And Spongberg, after being caught out for being too casual there in the last inning and making an error in center field, is able to get that one into his glove cleanly.
Right, he was concentrated on that one. He did not want that one to hit the turf. With a runner on second, you got to be as clean as a fielder as possible. And Spongberg, he's usually pretty reliable out there. Discount that one play, and he's usually been pretty reliable.
Yeah, so now 2 outs for the Midwestern Moos. As Layden fires in a first pitch strike.
I got to give a credit to these. Midwest Moo players. They've been doing a really good job of staying disciplined.
And that one is grounded right to the first baseman, Hunter Babe, and down go the Moos again. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th, 8-0 lead for the Corn Belt League All-Stars. back here. Corn Belt League All-Stars taking on the Midwestern Moos. They hold an 8-0 lead. Bottom of the sixth coming up, and it's the first sixth inning we've seen from the Corn Belt League All-Stars. We'll see if they can make it past 5 here. They've got Peyton Blinn up to bat, number 13, the shortstop as well. Made a couple good plays out there in the field. Has yet to really do it at the plate. I mean, he's lined out to the third baseman, and then he hit a walk, and then reached second. And then he grounded out to the second baseman, so he's 0 for 2 on the day with a walk. Still searching for that first hit. Count now sits at 1-1 for Blinn. And that one's in there. It looks like it'll be outside for 2-1.
Even though that pitch missed right there, that was a really good pitch right there by Lozano. That was a great curveball. Started in the other batter's box and worked its way over to just outside the plate.
This one lifted way foul by Blinn. Looks like it'll go in play of another field. So it's about the third or fourth time we've sent a ball to the other field here. A lot of foul balls that are just getting absolutely pieced by these hitters now. They're finding the location as that one's thrown back in. Looks like it hits the fence behind the backstop there.
Whoever threw that ball needs some accuracy training.
That one's just inside. Blinn able to sell that ball inside a little bit. Looked like it caught the plate, but Blinn is able to back out of the way there. Just a touch, and umpire sees that and calls it a ball there for a full count. 3-2 now against Blinn.
That's a well-known trick right there by the hitter to sell that pitch.
Now the full count pitch is way outside, and Blinn will head to first base. Another walk on the day for Blinn. So now they got runner on first, no outs, and it'll bring up Brendan Anderson.
Yeah, we'll see if if Coach Hobbs wants to put a runner in motion, put Peyton Blinn in motion here. See if you can get a little hit and run, try to stay out of the double play ball. You're up by 8. Does Hobbs want to stay aggressive? Does he want to play it back? That's just up to Hobbs. The Summer Ball Showdown does this by run differential. We'll see how aggressive they want to be, see if they want to push the lead a little further.
So with runner on first and Peyton Blinn, Anderson lifts this one high in the infield. It looks like it'll be shallow left field, and making the catch as the left fielder Bentley, and returning to first is Blinn. So Anderson unable to do anything with that first pitch swing.
I mean, that's as aggressive as you want to be, though. Taking a first pitch, taking the best pitch you see first out to the outfield, that's exactly what you want to see. I mean, yeah, it didn't go in the favor of the CBL, but that was a really good job by Lozano on trying to get these Corn Belt hitters to hit into their defense.
Now Lozano 1 out, 1 on here, and Peyton Blinn at first base brings up Spencer Crane, the power hitting leadoff man, and Blinn is caught off the bag, and he gets backpicked. What a throw there from Romero, finally finding that accuracy down to first base, and Peyton Blinn gets backpicked, and it'll be 2 outs now for the Corn Belt League.
Yeah, Peyton Blinn was caught sleeping right there. He was not expecting the catcher to throw that one down. Just caught him sleeping. Wasn't reading the ball from the pitcher to the catcher, and the catcher noticed that and just caught him sleeping.
Crane steps out of the batter's box here with an 0-1 count after that back pick. And that's just something that's got to shore up here, especially as you get into the tougher games in this tournament. You can't be caught sleeping. You can't have those little mental mistakes that cost outs.
Exactly. You've got to be mentally sharp at all times, and I know Hobbs is going to tell them in the post-game huddle after the game, but Hobbs is going to make sure that these guys are locked in and they're ready for tomorrow.
Pitch is in the dirt here. So it's 2-1 against Spencer Crane. Crane lifts this one into foul territory, so it'll be 2-2. And yeah, Hobbs knows what it's like. They went 2-0 last year in pool play and then ended up losing the first game in the tournament, so they were sent home early on Friday. The Corn Belt League does not want a repeat of that.
They do not want a repeat of that. If you're Hobbs, you're pushing all the buttons you can for victory here in this tournament.
2-2 pitch. Crane pulls it again, but again it's in foul territory. So he'll go again with the 2-2, just working up Lozano's pitch count here in the bottom of the sixth.
Little celebration up here in the press box as we get some AC going down our backs. It's a little steamy up here.
2-2 here with 2 outs, and this one is in fair play, but it goes right to the third baseman, Hamilton. The throw across is in time. No, it's not. He's safe as the first baseman dropped it there. That's number 12, Horn, dropping the ball at first base, and just another unfortunate error there as Jace Horn unable to hold on to it. Great throw there from the third baseman, Hamilton. It was a little bit low, but that's a ball any first baseman should be picking.
I mean, right, that's that's almost routine. I mean, that's a ball that if you're a first baseman, you can do in your sleep. That's a ball that Jace Horn should have been able to pick. It wasn't that low where he had to do a really extensive scoop for it, but that was one of those where he should have realistically gotten.
As there's a pickoff throw with the player still at first. Crane hadn't even stepped off the bag, and they do a pickoff throw. And now Crane steps off with Hunter Babe at the plate, the left-handed hitter. Hitting in the 5 spot, and Babe lifts this one to the second baseman. They're going to go for the flip at second base for the easy out. And that'll be the end of the inning. No runs here for the Corn Belt League. That's the first time we've gone through a Corn Belt League inning with no runs scored since the first. We'll head to the top of the 7th inning. 8-0 lead for the Corn Belt League All-Stars. We're back here. Top of the 7th coming up for the Corn Belt League All-Stars. They're leading this one 8-0. The run rule after 7 is 10 runs, so if the Corn Belt League is able to put up 2 more in the bottom of the 7th, they will call game here. But sitting at an hour and 40 minutes of game time currently. First pitch was at 3:59. We're sitting at 5:39 here as this pitch is lifted over the head of the second baseman, Bonner, and into center field. It'll be a single there for Mickey Coyne.
That was a really good job of taking that first pitch. As a hitter, that's the key. Taking that first pitch, taking it anywhere you can, working that spray chart. But that was a really good job of taking that first pitch, not letting Layden get ahead of the account. That was a really, really good job right there by Coyne, the D1 guy, Arkansas State. You could see that discipline sitting right there, and he just sat back on that one and took it.
That'll bring up A.J. Romero, who you saw have that incredible throw from the catcher to the first baseman on the back pick. Just placed it right where he needed to, and this one could be a double play ball. Instead, electing to go straight to first, and the throw is in the dirt, so heading over to third base is Mickey Coyne. And heading over to second is A.J. Romero. And what an unfortunate turn of events here for Zane Layden, as there's runners on second and third now with no outs.
And if you're the CBL, you do not want to play a snowball fight. This is not December 25th. This is not Christmas Day. You do not want a snowball fight right here if you're the CBL. If you're Layden, take a deep breath. Get your composure back under control. Let your defense do your work. They've been strong all game. They've got to be able to correct themselves out. They've got to be able to correct themselves out here. Layden's just got to keep trusting his stuff. You're up by 8. You got some runs to work with. Trust your stuff and just keep attacking these hitters.
Brady Johnson, the designated hitter, up now. Lifts this one foul. So it'll be 0-1 the count. Johnson's going to step back into the batter's box here. Runners on second and third. Romero's on second. Coyne's on third. This one grounded out to the second baseman. 1 run will score. Layden will lose a shutout, but it's only 1 run. That's not the worst thing in the world for the Corn Belt League as they get the out at first for the first out of the inning. And I'll bring up Brandon Bentley. Runners on third in Romero.
And that is the very first run allowed in the tournament so far by the CBL All-Star team. Pretty efficient defense, pretty efficient pitching. Credit to the Midwest Moos right there for playing their cards correctly and putting a run on the board.
So we're seeing the umpire here give a few signals. Looks like they're talking about something going on there in the outfield with the ball out there that came in from a different field. And so Layden will reset here with the count 0-1. There's another foul ball. So now the count is 0-1. I apologize. We do have a new hitter up to bat here. Looks like it's Abishia. And that pitch way inside on Abishia. Abishia in there for the left fielder, Brendan Bentley. Abishia lifts this one, and it will fall in right field. Runner will score. That's Romero coming in to make it 2 for the Midwestern Moos, and Abishia makes it to first base on the single to right field.
That was a good piece of hitting right there by Abishia. Came into the game, fresh eyes right up there for the Moo, and he did a really good job of getting a hold of that one, putting it in the right field as the Moos score their second run of the game. If you're Johnston Hobbs, you maybe want to start looking at Lane, seeing if fatigue is starting to play here. You want to start maybe utilizing your bullpen pieces.
I mean, he's pitched more than 72 pitches before in a Corn Belt League game, but especially now, you might want to take him out, throw in an Urbom for an inning or two, throw in a Fleming for an inning or two, and then hand it over to Wing to close out the game like he did so well yesterday as well.
Yeah, I mean, you have pieces out in that dugout if you're Johnston Hobbs and Sonny Senegal, so it's just being able to pick the right pieces.
That pitch is low on number 22 here. Another pinch hitter. It's J.J. Cardinal, who yesterday struggled here, the product from Trinidad State Junior College, went 0 for 5 with 1 strikeout. This ball's in foul territory. Chance to make a play on it, but unable to get there in time is the second baseman, Bonner. So like we mentioned, J.J. Cardinal searching for that first hit after 5 plate appearances. Yesterday, only one strikeout, no hits. And he'll most likely be taken over for that first base spot there in Jace Horn.
Yeah, I like J.J. Cardinal's approach to the plate, staying aggressive, sitting on Lane stuff. He recognizes that Lane is having a hard time hitting the strike zone this inning, and once that Lane left one hanging over the middle plate, J.J. Cardinal's recognized that, and he hit it, and he's just got to be able to maintain that because Lane's going to leave some stuff over the middle of the plate because you can tell that fatigue is starting to set in.
Umpires making a signal over to Johnston Hobbs, but looks like there's nothing about it, and stepping back into the box here is J.J. Cardinal. Another pitch high and inside, and Lane's really lost the control here in the 7th inning. I think it's time to pull.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's time to pull Lane. He's looking frustrated out on the mound. His composure. He's starting to slouch. He's starting to kind of show signs of fatigue. And if you're Johnston Hobbs, this is either the last hitter, or if he gets an out here, you let him go another one. But you got to start recognizing.
Yeah, there's a play. The shortstop play is made at second. They're going for 2. Will they get it? No, they will not. Runner at first is safe there in J.J. Cardinal, but getting at least 1 out there is the Corn Belt League All-Stars. And they'll put Cardinal on first here. That should bring up Andrew Brown, the 9-spot hitter. Andrew Brown is lining up against Layden. Last time up, Andrew Brown put down an incredible bunt and tried to beat out Layden, but Layden with some great PFP there and able to get down to that ball and make the throw to first to get the out. Is a really close play, but Layden able to put a strong throw down there. And now they've got 2 outs. Big swing and a miss there. Counts now 1-1 here for Andrew Brown.
Yeah, this is the 81st pitch of the game right here for Zane Lane, so this might be starting to get towards its tops. We'll see if he can finish out the inning. Really good outing so far, though, by Zane Lane.
Another pitch outside will be 2-1 here.
Lane's been doing exactly what Johnston Hobbs needed him to do. Going deep into this game, he's gone 7 2/3. We'll see if he can complete the full, do 8 as Lane delivers the pitch outside, foul ball right there by Andrew Brown down the first base side, making it a 2-2 count.
So now Layden at 2-2, trying to close out the 7th inning. We're going to assume he's going to get pulled after this one, most likely for Urbom, Fleming, or Hughes. Could even see Noah Wing in there for a nice little 2-inning closeout, but first got to get rid of this batter. Instead, he pings him, gets him in the shoulder. So heading over to first base there is Andrew Brown. And with his speed on the bases, as well as J.J. Cardinal's, it's going to be a bad spot here for Layden.
Yeah, Layden just needed one more strike, and unfortunately he lost command right there on that curveball.
Gonna bring up top of the order here. Nate Hayes back up, and he's gotten the better of Layden today. He's hit a ground rule double, reached on a walk as well. The only out that Layden has been able to put on him has been a pop out here to the catcher position there on a foul ball behind home plate. There's another foul ball.
Once again, Arnav, I was ready to catch that.
That had no chance of getting up to the press box, though, but
I stay ready, though. Stay ready. It's that baseball instincts that have never left me.
back at the top of the order here, Nate Hayes. And we want to remind you to stick with us here during the 7th inning stretch. We'll have an interview with tournament director here of 2022 Summer Ball Showdown, and Dave Bush, as that pitch is low and inside. We'll be talking to him during the mid-inning.
I'll be doing a little 7th inning stretch.
You definitely will. As Layden lines up here with a 1-1. Another pitch that misses, so it's 2-1 now the count. Hayes, the second baseman, check swing there, able to hold off on a pitch high, so it's not 3-1. And Layden's really got to rear back and throw this one in the zone.
He's got to just put one out in the zone. If he hits it, he hits it, but you got to throw a strike here.
Do not want to load the bases for Joel Townsley, who's really pieced him up. Has yet to get a hit on the day, but has hit 2 deep balls to center field.
And just like we said, he had to throw one in the zone, and that's exactly what he did. But you got to give a credit to these Midwest Moo hitters. They have been staying extremely disciplined at the plate. They've been taking what Zane's been giving them, and they've been able to get a little rally going here.
And with runners on first and second, both of them go on the payoff pitch and lifted this one into left center field. Getting on it, holding the runner at second there is left fielder Copeland, but another run scores here for the Midwest Moos.
Yeah, if you're Johnston Hobbs, this is the moment where you take out Layden. You've got, as Hobbs makes his way to the mound for a meeting of the mounds, you got to think this is Layden's day for him.
Yeah, very efficient day before the 7th inning. He went 66 pitches through 6. Now he's at 89, so a really rough 7th inning for Layden. He's thrown just 23 pitches. That's more than the last 2 innings combined. And we'll head to break here. We'll see a new pitcher coming in here for the Corn Belt League All-Stars. When we come back, we'll have the closeout of the top of the 7th, and we'll have an interview with tournament director Dave Bush during the middle of the 7th inning. But first, we got to close out the top of the 7th. Midwestern Moos on a slight comeback here. It's 3-8, the score as we head to break. We are back here taking a look at the new pitcher for the Corn Belt League All-Stars. After giving up 3 in the 7th inning, Zayden Layden heads to the dugout. It'll bring up Braden Bach here. The pitcher can also play a little bit of third base for this team from Northern Oklahoma Enid, the product out of Elkhorn, Nebraska. Went to Elkhorn High School, and this summer he pitched for the Royal Blue Dogs. It's Braden Bach here, number 30. And over the course of the summer, 2 innings pitched, gave up 4 hits, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, a 3.5 ERA, and mainly using that relief closer position just as a setup guy here, and that's what he'll be used as now, looking to get through an inning and a third to bring up the closer Noah Wing to finish things off tonight. We'll see what Bach can do during warm-ups. Hasn't looked the best here. He's missed a few pitches way outside, but slowly still getting settled into things here.
Yeah, Brock is a good utility guy. Bach, is a good utility guy. He can hit, he can pitch, and we'll see if he can channel in his stuff right here. He's got to get 1 out. You got to think maybe that Hobbs is going to use him for a 4-out kind of hold roll. Finish the last out here, go 3 outs in the 8th. We'll see if Bach right here can channel his best command, allow his defense to make plays. You got a runner on second and first with 2 outs, so you got to force that first, second, and third. So if your defense, you feel comfortable making a play at any of those 3 positions, and Bach has just got to trust his stuff.
Quick little mound meeting here between Siegner and Bach, just trying to calm him down here. Realize that, you got a force out at all 3 bases, a ground out here, basically anywhere. They don't have to risk a throw to first, no risk of a throwing error, just like we saw earlier in this inning with the throw from Blinn over to first that hit the dirt, and that was really just kind of the catalyst for everything to come falling apart here in the 7th for the Corn Belt League. As Bach readies his first pitch, it's low there, ball 1.
Good speed right there by Bach. That was a pretty electric fastball, but he's got to be able to take command, and that's kind of been his problem off and on all year is command with that fastball. We'll see if he can really channel it in right here.
2 on with 2 outs, and there's another pitch in the dirt. So now it's 2 on with 2 outs and 2 balls.
A lot of 2s here. 2 on base, 2 outs, 2-0 count. Second pitcher of the game for the CBL. The CBL really likes the number 2.
Seen it a lot here. Looking for their second win today as well. As there's another pitch outside from Bach, and he's really struggled to find the strike zone early.
Yeah, and if you're Johnston Hobbs, this is not what you were looking for with Bach coming out of the pen, and you're hoping to bring in a guy with a little bit more control, a guy who could just come in and get 4 or 5 quick pitch outs here.
That one just getting outside corner on 3-0, and you got to think the umpire's giving that one to him.
Yeah, the umpire's supposed to remain unbiased, and I thought that pitch was a little bit outside, but he gave it to him. But Bach's got to give the next 2 pitches have got to be the best 2 pitches in his arsenal.
Here's a 3-1 from Bach, and it's in the dirt again, so it'll be a walk here. Bases loaded now. Brown's going to be on third. Corhayes heads to second. Townsley heads to first. And that'll bring up number 20, Matt Hamilton. Matt, the third baseman for the Midwest Moos today. And we know that the starting pitching could get it done. Just left him in a little bit too long there, did Hobbs. And now the relief pitching, who we haven't really seen much of. I mean, we saw an inning of work from Noah Wing, who dealed last night. But other than that, it's been the first real outing here for any Corn Belt relief that has been needed. And Bach misses again for ball 1. This one hit straight back up the gap. 1 run will score. They're going to send a second one home as well. Spongberger launching this one home. Will it get there in time? No, it will not. 2-run score. So now it's 5-8.
Yeah, this is not what you were hoping for. If you're the CBL, you were hoping to bring in a relief guy who could come in and get a quick out. But this has been just as tough on the CBL and Coach Hobbs than you thought it would be. So this is, Bach's got to be able to work efficiently, which he hasn't done so far. He looks a little rattled out there. It doesn't look like he's came in prepared to throw his best stuff. He's got to channel it in right here and give the CBL some hope going into the bottom of the 7th.
Tying run comes to the plate now. It's Mickey Coyne, and one of their most prolific hitters for the Midwest Moos, with a chance to tie it up here against Braden Bach, the new pitcher for the Corn Belt League. Coyne lifts this one high. It'll stay in play, but closing in on it there is the second baseman, and it's dropped in the infield. Looks like it'll be an infield fly, and the throw home is missed. And this is just an unfortunate turn of events here for the Corn Belt League. Tying run advances to second base there on an absolutely atrocious play there from the Corn Belt League defense. Isaac Bonner, Peyton Blinn, just terrible communication there in the outfield.
And you have to think Hobbs is absolutely livid right now.
Oh, he's absolutely livid. There's no other way that he could be described right now.
I mean, you are up 8-0 going into the top half of the 7th, and you've allowed 6 runs this inning. You've pretty much allowed them to come back into this game, and you've got runners on second and third with 2 outs. It's taken 9 pitches, but 3 different hitters, and they still haven't gotten it out yet.
Finally, a first pitch strike here, working against AJ Romero. This is his second time up. That was also Coyne's second time up. He scored earlier on in this inning as well. And now he's at second base, and he represents a tying run. It's a big cut and a miss there. And Bach slowly gains some confidence here against AJ Romero.
Yeah, Bach's got to really deliver his best pitch right here. He's got an 0-2 count. You have a pitch to work with, but he hasn't been able to locate. We'll see what he can do right here.
Talk about location. He misses that one up and in. 1-2 the count. Just needs one more strike to put it away here.
He's got to just deliver that one pitch right here. Channel it in. One pitch. This has got to be it right here.
It's on the low and outside corner. He misses again. It's 2-2. You have pitches to waste, but with the way he's been struggling with command, I'd say you don't have a pitch to waste. You just got to put him away as early as you can. Romero's at the plate. Coins on second. Hamilton's on third. That one misses again, so it's 3-2. Romero represents the leading run here. And if he gets on base, I wouldn't be surprised if Hobbs goes to the bullpen again. This one lifted foul. It'll stay 3-2.
Thing about this CBL team, though, is that they can easily put up runs in a hurry. So you can't really count them out. This 8-6 run, they could easily push it back to 14-6 at any point. So you got to think that they've got to keep this under control. They can't let this hole get any bigger.
This one lifted right to the shortstop, Blendon, making the sliding catch. There's Blendon. That'll finally end the inning. Remind you to stay with us here. We're going to have a quick little radio interview with the 2022 Wichita Summer Ball Showdown director here, Dave Bush. We'll be back in about 15 seconds with him here on the Corn Belt League Radio Network. Back here, 2022 Wichita Summer Ball Showdown, Director of Operations here, Dave Bush. Dave, good to have you here. How excited are you for this tournament to finally get underway?
Oh man, I planned on this for years, and then it comes to fruition, and then now we're in year 2, and we're growing, and it's phenomenal. I couldn't be happier with the games yesterday. Today, I think we have a slew of games that are gonna make or break some hearts for sure. But I'm excited for it. I'm ready for it to be done. But to be honest, it's just awesome to have everyone out here from all over the country to play some baseball.
Yeah, and you mentioned it's not just the baseball that's happening, though. You got a ton of other stuff, a ton of activities happening. Walk me through some of the things that are happening right now.
So the Summer Ball Showdown isn't just a baseball tournament. I like to say it's a community event that is community driven. One of our big things is being able to provide another platform for local nonprofits in the Wichita area to kind of showcase what they have. So yesterday we had Wichita Parisi put on a free wiffle ball tournament. That thing lasted until 11 o'clock at night, which was awesome. And then today we're doing a fundraiser for Meaningful Life Foundation and their Meaningful Life Baseball. So there's a cornhole tournament that's getting ready to kick off, and then tomorrow is the Home Run Derby sponsored by Chick-fil-A, and all those good things to really give back to the communities.
Yeah, and then final question here as we're about to get the bottom of the 7th started away. What is the thing that you're most excited for here? Is it just to finally get this thing underway? Obviously, you've mentioned that you're excited about that, but what is the one thing that you say, watch out for this, like be excited for this and be on the lookout for this?
I think it's the being able to build up the baseball community. For me, having all the players and coaches being in one spot, being able to communicate and do those things, it's awesome.
Yeah, all right. Thank you very much. That was 2022 Wichita Summer Ball Showdown Director of Events, Dave Bush there, joining us here in the middle of the 7th. We'll head to the bottom of the 7th here. Corn Belt still leading, but the lead is a lot shorter than it was before. It's 6-8 for the Corn Belt League, and it'll bring up Eli McDonald last time up. He had to pop out to the first baseman. Super excited to be here. We are, and what a great interview that was with Dave Bush.
Yeah, what a guy. What a tournament that he's put on today. I'm glad that they're doing it for the community. It's awesome that they're doing it for the players, the community, giving these guys, putting them in the spotlight. What a tournament put together by Dave. And shout out to the SBS for putting together a really awesome event.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just the baseball that's happening. We saw yesterday the wiffle ball tournament kind of drawn viewers away from the baseball games. That was really funny. And then, like you just mentioned, cornhole today. You'll have fireworks tomorrow, as well as that home run derby that he mentioned. And some of the trophies we've seen here, we've got some really nice wooden bats. We've got some Chick-fil-A wooden bats here, some of the only ones in existence. And we're getting a nice view of those here right now.
I was watching the corn belt get ready to go over, or the cornhole, and those guys look like they're ready to sling some bags into some holes.
It's really just the true Midwestern sport there. Nothing really tops cornhole. As the first pitch is in there for a strike, so it's 0-1.
Might I add, it is cornhole and not bags.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think that's the only way to put it. as that one misses low for 1-1 here. It's still Lozano. He's working against McDonald. Lozano on the pitch count now at the half-century mark. He's thrown 50 pitches, and that one's in the dirt and gets away from Romero, so it'll be 2-1.
This inning, the key word for this inning is response. Responding. Even 2-3 runs would be key. Put us over that hump. Let your pitching do the thing.
And the biggest question is Hobbs going to stay with Bach here? Bach struggled, got pieced up a little bit by those Moos hitters. I mean, if you can get a few runs of insurance here, I'm okay. I'm comfortable with throwing Bach out there for another inning. But other than that, I mean, it's going to be rough here if they're not able to find any insurance here. Because there's another strike, so it'll be a full count here. No on, no outs here for Eli McDonald. He's the leadoff hitter in this bottom 7. Just trying to put something over here. And he hits this one right up the gap. Will it get through? Yes, it will. To right center field they go. And able to make it to first base there is Eli McDonald. What a good hit there from McDonald.
That was a really nice hit right there by McDonald on a 3-2 count. He knew that he was going to be getting Lorenzo's best stuff. So he took what he got, put it in the middle, and now the Corn Belt's back in business with a runner on first.
And bring up number 25, Caleb Copeland, the left fielder. He's a change. Yesterday we saw James Grease out there in left field, and trying to decide between those two is hard. Grease brings a little bit more power to the plate, but Copeland brings a little bit more speed there. Grease can move, but not as much as Copeland can. And the first pitch is up and in here. For ball 1, it's 1-0. Copeland on the day 0 for 3. He's grounded up 2 times on how to pop out to the shortstop. Not been his day at the plate. Shows bunt again and pulls back, so it'll be 2-0. Compare that to how Grease was hitting yesterday. Take a look here. It's hard to read the score sheet from yesterday, just how many walks there were and how many runs got scored, but Grease also went 0 for 2. But he did score 2 runs yesterday, did Grease. This one hit, it's a bunt, and the runner will get to second, and the out will be made at first. So Copeland does his job, the sacrifice bunt, advancing the runner to second. And I'll bring up Isaac Bonner in the 8th spot here with 1 out.
That was a really good bunt right there. Put it between the catcher, pitcher, and third baseman. If he would have brought it a little closer to the line, I think he would have been able to beat that out. But nonetheless, runner on second, runners in scoring position right here for Isaac Bonner. See if he can put one in the gap and get the Corn Belt League back up.
Yeah, just need a little bit more insurance here. You're not comfortable with a 2-run lead as that pitch is in the dirt here. McDonald's at second with 1 out for Isaac Bonner.
I've been really impressed with Lorenzo and how he's done and carried himself out on the mound today. He's thrown 58 pitches through 4 and a third, and he's thrown 34 strikes and 24 balls. So I've been really impressed with how he's been able to kind of limit the CBL lineup here.
This one is lifted high. It looks like it'll go right to the shortstop, so it's going to be a pop out there from Isaac Bonner. And it'll bring up Derek Siegner. Siegner has been having a pretty efficient day here. He reached on an error and then ground out to the shortstop and then hit a double. So Siegner looking to advance McDonald from second here. And you got to think single here scores because of McDonald's speed there at second. Unless it's a hard hit ball right to one of the fielders, Siegner should be able to get an RBI here. Instead, it's a hard hit ball right back to the pitcher, so it'll be 4 up, 3 down for the Corn Belt League. They reach on a single hit from Eli McDonald, but no run score. The Midwest Moos are creeping back into this one. We'll have top of the 8th coming up when we return. here in the top of the 8th. Still Bach on the mound, but there is a new catcher now. Bach gets his Royal Blue Dogs teammate back behind the plate in number 2. It's Nick Carlson. First pitch is low and away for the designated hitter, Brady Johnson.
I like this play right here by Johnston Hobbs, throwing in a new catcher here, a more defensive-minded catcher behind the plate, Nick Carlson, seeing if he can prevent some pass balls, some wild pitches, and seeing if they do get runners on, gunning guys out at second.
2-0 the count is here with Bach working against Johnson. He finally fires one in there, straight down the middle for strike 1, so it's 2-1. But yeah, you just got to hold this over, try and get Wing in there. Or another closer, potentially Cade Owens, as this one is lifted. Calling for it is Spongberg. Loses his hat, makes the catch. So there's one away here for Bach. Gets the first out of the inning.
It's not a Danny Spongberg fly ball if he does not lose his hat. He just gives 125% effort on every fly ball, and he's lost his hat on every fly ball. Either it's his great flow, which I will admit, Danny Spongberg has nice flow. He's got some good hair. I'm a man that appreciates good hair. And or he just gives good effort every play.
Yeah, it might be the hair thing, but I mean, either way, he's just running too fast for the hat to stay on his head. There's a first pitch strike there from Braden Bach. And second pitch is lifted foul to go out of play here, so it's 0-2 now the count. Food 10 is still safe. I know Ethan stood up there to go check on it, but it looks like we're good.
I know they're having Olive Garden tonight. We got to protect those breadsticks at all costs. This could be put up for debate, but Olive Garden has the best bread out of every restaurant I've ever been to.
That is a hot take that I will not be discussing now. We'll discuss that later today. Maybe while we're having the breadsticks, you can see that there are some places with better ones.
No.
That pitch way inside from Bach, and turning out of the way there is Abishia.
So I saw Abishia didn't take that pitch right there. If you're the Moo, you need base runners. You're down by 2 in the bottom half of the 8th inning. You think Abishia would take that pitch to get a base runner, but he got out of the way.
Instead, it's a pitch right down the middle. Abishia lifts this one into right field. Reading it is Crane, and making the catch there is Crane. So it's 2 up, 2 down here. And now it brings up J.J. Cardinal, who got his first hit of the tournament here in the last at-bat. Finally showcasing what he's able to do at the plate. And he'll look to keep the Midwest Moos alive here.
I love this J.J. Cardinal kid. I love his approach to the plate. I love how he carries himself. He seems like a very disciplined player, and he seems like one of those guys that every team wants on their team, kind of like a Brendan Anderson type of guy for the CBL. J.J. Cardinal would be your guy for the Midwestern Moo.
Cardinal lifts this one foul. It'll head over to the second field over there. And back into the mound steps Bach. Here he's trying to go 3 up, 3 down here after a pretty rough first start to game. Came in with 2 outs in the 7th and then was unable to hold off the Midwest Moos to 3 runs, gave up 3 more. As Bach fires one in just high, it's 1-1.
I like how Bach has been able to respond. He's been able to beat the adversity, and I like that response by Braden Bach.
And Bach approaches the 1-1 here. That's fired in. It's a chopper. Will it stay fair? Yes, it will. Bach's going to get the ball and apply the tag. So J.J. Cardinal is out. The Corn Belt League heads to the bottom of the 8th, up by 2, looking for some more insurance here as they bring in their closer next inning. We'll see you back after the break. Here in the bottom of the eighth, a new pitcher in there for the Midwest Moos. We've got number 26, Cody Brown, the pitcher from Friends University, 13 and 1/3 innings pitched, giving up 13 earned runs, 8 strikeouts, averaging a 10.12 ERA. For a guy in relief, the high ERA is a little bit concerning, but it's not as concerning as if that was a starter, giving up a 10.12 ERA. But we'll see what Brown can do here against top of the lineup coming up here in Spongberg, Blinn, and Anderson for the Corn Belt League All-Stars.
Cody Brown, I mean, 13 innings of work, 17 hits, 13 earned runs, 24 walks. That's not very favorable on his part. This is a very hittable pitcher. You got to be disciplined at the plate. For 24 walks, you got to be pretty much waiting for your pitch. Johnston Hobbs, I'm sure, told him that to be patient. We'll see if Danny Spongberg, who is a pretty patient and very solid hitter, can set the tone for this bottom half of the eighth inning.
So it will be Spongberg to lead things off here. Working at the bottom of the eighth. 2-run lead here for the Corn Belt League. They'd like to get a few more here to really solidify that they get one of the top 4 seeds here with that extra bye that they get, as well as a later game time here. But with that 16-run win yesterday, they should avoid any of the bottom 8 seeds. That would make them play a doubleheader tomorrow. Spongberg's up to bat now, working against Brown. Count is 1-1, and that one's misses for 2-1. Spongberg's still waiting on that pitch. That's his to swing at. Now delivering the 2-1 is Brown, and that one just hit off the inside knob of the bat here, so it'll be foul ball. 2-2 coming up for Spongberg.
Yeah, Danny Spongberg did not want to swing that. He initially wanted to, decided to hold back, but unfortunately the bat was just out in the plane, just in the ball's path, and he was able to get a piece of that, fouling it off, evening up the count.
Looks like Spongberg got hit there, or he struck out. Sorry, took a little hop there. Looked like he got hit, but he instead of strikeout swinging.
Yeah, but that was an inside pitch. The umpire looked like he gave him the inside pitch a little bit. He's kind of been working that right-hand batter's box a little bit. That was a really good pitch, though, working that horizontal pitching movement. We've been talking about that all game, working the horizontal and vertical pitching movement, and Brown did that exactly right there.
Now it's number 35, Peyton Blinn. Sorry, no, it's a different hitter now, number 35. Take a quick look at who we got here on number 35 for the Corn Belt League team. It's Jackson Horn now coming in at shortstop. We saw him yesterday. 0 for 2, 2 walks, 1 RBI, 1 run. So let's see what Horn can do here.
Yeah, Jackson Horn, 30 hits on the season with the Filth Ballers, 16 RBIs, 6 walks. So he's definitely capable of getting on base here. He's definitely capable of putting the ball out in play.
Horn lifts this one. Will it drop in right field? Will it go foul? It looks like it has fallen. And the ball is fair, so heading to second base there is Jackson Horn, and efficient there from Jackson Horn to take the first pitch opposite field.
Yeah, exactly like I said, he's very capable of getting on pace. And what does he do first pitch? He takes it oppo. That's been a common theme this game also, is people going oppo. Took it oppo for a stand-up double, and now the Corn Belt League for the 5th straight inning have a runner in scoring position with 1 out. And let's see if they can finally capitalize and put some insurance on to end off this game.
It's Brennan Anderson, the designated hitter. After Jackson Horn got onto second base, so it's 1 on with 1 out. Runner on second for Anderson. Anderson looks at that first pitch on that high third. It's in there for a strike.
That was Brandon Anderson's pitch. I've seen him absolutely demolish that pitch before. I wonder what he was doing there. Maybe that froze him. Maybe he was expecting an off-speed or breaking ball right there. But that's a pitch that Brendan Anderson has crushed before.
So instead, it's 0-1 the count here. Brown against Anderson, and Anderson lifts this next one. It'll be fouled over the fence line here. Sorry, the net line, I should say, not the fence. Used to J.J. Jackson Field with that chain link fence behind the backstop, but here it's a little bit different with the net. And now the count is 0-2 for Anderson. He's fallen behind very quickly. Delivering the 0-2, here's Brown. Runner on second, and it's looked in by Anderson for a ball. It'll be a 1-2. Horn on second with a little bit of speed here. You got to think single scores. Especially with the leadoff that Horn has taken here. I mean, first off, I'm surprised that Brown hasn't checked back and thrown a pickoff pitch here. Instead, Anderson hits this one off the inside of the bat. It's fouled off again, so it'll be 1-2.
Brendan Anderson's been sitting back. He's fouled off the last 2 pitches. You almost got to think that one of these he's going to see correctly and just absolutely turn on.
That's what the Corn Belt League is hoping for here. Only a 2-run lead going into the bottom of the 8th. You're wishing for a little bit more insurance here. As Anderson lifts this one, hard hit ball to left field. Will it go? Yes, it will. It's a home run for Brendan Anderson. The bomb scores 2. Horn scores from second. Anderson goes yard. He'll walk around the bases, take his time. It's 10-6 Corn Belt League.
We were just talking about how Brandon Anderson has the power to get one out, and he had to wait for his pitch, and that's exactly what he did right there. Brandon Anderson took that ball to left field. Good job getting his hands in and on that pitch, and he absolutely launched that one to left field. I bet that one went 380. That ball was in the trees.
An absolute rocket from Brendan Anderson blows this one wide open. 10-6 now the score is. A 2-run shot from Brendan Anderson brings up Spencer Crane in the 4 spot.
And you have to think that Johnston Hobbs is going to give him the biggest hug in the dugout. I would love to see that interaction right now.
No, and Hobbs probably like, good job, and then he'll move on.
Yeah.
But
Hobbs is a man of few words.
Very few words, unless he's doing a post-game speech. He loves his post-game speeches.
Yes.
So now the score 10-6 with the count 1-0. And lifting this one into right field is Blaine, backing up at the wall and making the catch as a right fielder, Coyne. So 2 hard hit balls from the Corn Belt League All-Stars. One a home run, and the other one just a little bit inside the fence line at the warning track, making that catch there was Coyne, but it is an out nonetheless. But damage done. Corn Belt scored 2 in the bottom of the 8th here and now it's 2 outs for number 40, Hunter Babe, another guy with just the same amount of power. Babe looks at the first pitch outside for 1-0. Now the second pitch is in, and it's outside again for 2-0, and Babe's really doing a good job being patient here, knowing that if he's not getting the pitch he wants, he can wait. He'll take a strike if it's not the pitch he wants. Now the 2-0 delivery here from Brown. Another pitch outside. Brown losing control here slowly after that absolute piece job from Anderson. Another one that was hard hit from Crane, just didn't have the ability to get out. So 3-0. Brown working against Babe here. Sorry, not Crane. And there's 4-0. 4 straight pitches outside of the zone. They were both all out and low. And walking to first base there is Hunter Babe. And after a Spongberg strikeout to start the inning, we saw Jackson Horn, the pinch hitter, come in and reach second base there. And then we saw a 2-run home run from Brendan Anderson, and that's been the difference here in this bottom of the 8th inning.
Yeah, man, what a bomb. That got me on my feet.
Yeah.
That was quite the hit right there.
And it looks like that'll be the end of the day there for Brown. They're going to make a call to the bullpen here. We'll take a quick break and see who the Moos' new pitcher is when we return. We're back here taking a look at the Midwest Moos' new pitcher. It's number 5, Jacob Woodburn, another product of Southwestern College, the Mound Builders. 41 1/3 innings pitched this summer for the Moos, giving up 46 hits, 31 earned runs. That's a 6.7 ERA, 38 strikeouts though, so Big strikeout numbers here for Woodburn, averaging just under a strikeout per inning. We'll see what he can do here against number 6, 7, and 8 hitters here. Eli McDonald, Copeland, and Bonner due up, but once again, 2 outs here for the Corn Belt League already, so we'll see how they approach this last batter. And Babe is on first base after reaching on that walk. So after a Spongberg strikeout, Jackson Horn reached second, Brennan Anderson home run. Crane flies out to right field, and Babe the walk here to end up on first base brings up McDonald. Started this inning 8-6. Now it's 10-6 after that 2-run shot. That ball in there for a strike. First pitch strike here from Woodburn.
Yeah, Woodburn in the warm-ups was extremely efficient in keeping the ball in the strike zone. So you got to think he's just pretty much going to lay everything in the strike zone. But you got to take advantage of that if you're Eli McDonald.
0-1 the count is against McDonald. McDonald swings on this one. Will it drop in shallow right field? It's getting down. Yes, it will. And heading over to second is Hunter Babe. The throw holds him at second. But runners on first and second here for Caleb Copeland, who's really struggled today at the plate.
Yeah, Eli McDonald did a good job. Another hit opposite field. I feel like at least 8 or 9 hits today on both sides have gone opposite field. Hitters have been doing a good job of sitting back on the ball. Let's see if Copeland here can do the same thing. Runners on first and second. The Corn Belt League can really do some damage and tack on some insurance runs.
Got a pinch hitter here for Caleb Copeland. It's number 50, I believe, which is Mitchell Pomeroy. Saw him last night. We did Pomeroy. And last night he went 1 for 3 with 3 runs scored, 2 RBIs, reached on a lot of walks, and he reached on errors, is what happened with him. And now he's looking over to put this one into play and score the runner here from second, which is Hunter Babe. You got McDonald on first, Babe on second, 2 outs. Count is now 1-0 here after a ball, and Pomeroy calls for time. He'll step out of the box and reset himself.
Yeah, you gotta keep your head on a swivel. Those balls can come out of nowhere from the field to the left of us, and they've got the protective netting up here, but it doesn't go all the way down, and the netting doesn't go that high. So you got to keep your head on a swivel a little bit out there.
It's now still 1-0 here for Pomeroy. Pomeroy, one of the most disciplined hitters on this Corn Belt League team. Big cut and miss there, and that's a pitch he should be hitting. It's just right on that top half, high cheddar, but it was in the strike zone, and Pomeroy went above it, actually. He was swinging high there.
Yeah, call that pitch mozzarella. That was some high cheddar right there. But, yeah, Pomeroy wasn't able to get a hold of that one. That's his type of pitch, that high one.
And now it's 1-1 here for Pomeroy. It's way inside there on Pomeroy, so it'll be 2-1. And so for the batter, number 50, Mitchell Pomeroy, on the year, taking a quick look at his stats. He's 9 hits, 9 RBIs, 2 walks, 1 strikeout in the Corn Belt League season. Didn't really come into the Phillips Ballers until later on in the year when they needed some help with some guys due to injuries. As there's another foul ball hit directly towards the press box, but the net makes a catch before Ethan can.
The net needs to win a gold glove. That's a good catch right there by the net.
I figured you were going to say something along those lines. As Mitchell Pomeroy lines up the 2-2 here. Got Babe on second, McDonald on first, 2 outs, 2-2 the count. Pomeroy in the box. Hits this one. Will he get through the gap? A diving stop by the first baseman. Can he beat Pomeroy to the base? No, he cannot. Good speed there from Mitchell Pomeroy, and the bases are loaded for number 34, Isaac Bonner, who's up to bat.
What a play right there, though, by J.J. Cardinal. That was a really good diving stop. The ball was, if he doesn't make that play, that run scores, making an 11-6 ball game. So that was a really good job right there by J.J. Cardinal of showing off and showcasing that leather that he has and stopping a run.
Now bases loaded for Bonner. Bonner on the day reached on a single and scored a run in the 2nd inning. Then it's been fly out center, reached on a single, scored a run in the 5th inning, and a pop out to the shortstop. So, hey, should be reaching on a single and scoring a run here. We'd love to see that if you're the Corn Belt League. Check swing from Bonner. Doesn't go. It's low. And with bases loaded, Bonner really just has to put a ball past the infield, and you're scoring 2.
This is where the Corn Belt League can get dangerous, though. You got bases loaded. You got Isaac Bonner up. This is where the Corn Belt League can get dangerous. Bases loaded, runners scoring position. the Corn Belt League is very efficient with hitting and runners in scoring position.
So now Bonner, bases loaded, takes one inside. Count is 2-0. Bonner's been having a really good discipline. The only really issue he's having with is that location. He's hit under both of the balls that he's been caught out on. That fly out to center was really shallow. I mean, he sent that one to the moon, and then the same thing with the pop out to the shortstop, sent that one super high as well. Just once he locates the ball really well, he's been making really good contact. There's another pitch inside, 3-0 the count. We got Babe on third, McDonald on second, Pomeroy on first for Isaac Bonner. Infield playing very deep, especially on that right side. Second baseman's almost in the outfield. There's a pitch down the middle for a strike. So it's 3-1, and now Bonner's going to be looking to swing here.
Yep, he had a red light. He was stopped at a stop sign, and now he's got the green light ready to go.
3-1, 2 on. Bases loaded here for Isaac Bonner. This could be a huge moment in this game. As lining up the pitch here is Woodburn. Pitches in, and Bonner fouls this one off, so it'll be 3-2. That one went pretty far. Made it all the way to that orange bullpen over there. Bullpen-esque setup that they have for the Moos, just short of the fence. Pieced that one really nicely, did Bonner, but it was always going left.
The left fielder over there, Abicio, was shaded well over towards center field, so you almost got to wonder if they recognize that he's a pull hitter, but he sent that one oppo.
And now 3-2 again here for Bonner. Runners go. This one's grounded to the shortstop, making the play. There's a shortstop, Townsley. Will it get there in time? No, it will not. He is safe. What a play there from Isaac Bonner, using his speed to get the infield hit, score one run.
Yeah, what a play right there, though, by the shortstop, and what a stretch right there from the first baseman. But it was hit deep enough between the 6 and 5 gap right there that it was just enough for him to leg that one out. But you got to give credit to the shortstop, Townsley, and the first baseman, Cardinal, right there. That was a really, really, really nice defensive play by those two. But it was just out of time.
Going to bring up Derek Siegner here. Siegner, the catcher. Reach on an error, hit a double as well, and then grounded out twice today. But with bases juiced, that first ball is low from Woodburn. And you got to think this all wouldn't have happened if it weren't for Mitchell Pomeroy's hustle on that one routine ground ball to the first baseman. Now with the score 11-6, it counts 1-0. Bases are juiced for Nick. Sorry, this is Nick Carlson. Yeah, he came in to catch for Braden Bach last inning. Sorry, not Siegner. Also, a Royal Blue Dog along with Bach. Big swing and a miss there from Carlson, so it's 1-1. A little bit less proficient Carlson is with the bat. However, can still get the job done here. Carlson on the year, 14 RBIs for the Royal Blue Dogs. That pitch way outside is going to get to the backstop. Will Pomeroy score? Yes, he will. Pomeroy makes it home. Sorry, Pomeroy makes it third. McDonald comes home and scores, I should say. And that'll move Bonner to second. So now it's runners on second and third. 2 outs. 12-6 lead for the Corn Belt League.
Yeah, just when the Moo were starting to rally, they allowed the Corn Belt League to just tack on some more insurance runs here, and it's definitely not over. There's a 2-1 count right here with 2 outs and runners on second and third, and Nick Carlson, a base hit, makes this an 8-run game again.
That's exactly what the Corn Belt League is looking for here. And that one way inside, gets to the backstop again. Pomeroy's going to score, make it 13-6, and Bonner will move over to third. And now runner on third, 90 feet away from making it an 8-run ball game again, and that would be huge for the run differential as there's going to be a mound meeting here. No manager just yet, but now it looks like the manager is out there.
Yeah, that is 2 straight wild pitches right there for Woodburn, and that is just not ideal. I mean, that 2 wild pitches, 2 runs.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to keep him out there for now. And it makes sense here. The game is almost run out. You do not want to waste another arm, but you got to tell him, hey, this is important for our run differential because the way that the seeding works is all through run differential. Now with the Corn Belt getting 7 runs positive here, that puts the Moos in the negatives for run differential. They only won by 3 yesterday.
Yeah, I mean the Corn Belt League is sitting at a really good spot, and the Moo needed a win today to be in the top 8, but unfortunately the Corn Belt's just had their number.
And Nick Carlson rips this one into left center field, scoring home, walking it in there is Isaac Bonner. And 2 hustle plays from Mitchell Pomeroy and Isaac Bonner restore an 8-run lead for the Corn Belt League.
Yeah, just when everyone thought that the Midwest Moo were going to bounce back, the Corn Belt said, no, not today, channeled their inner Dikembe Mutombo and said, no, not today, and got that 8-run lead right back, making it a 14-6 ball game. You got to love the drive, the fight that this CBL team has displayed here today.
I'll bring up the top of the order here again in the bottom of the 8th. It's Danny Spongberg. Last time up, he struck out. Count is 1-0 now after a ball. Spongberg, big cut there. It's 1-1. Now Spongberg regathers himself outside of the batter's box. 1-1 the count. Corn Belt League matches the 6 runs scored by the Midwest Moos in the top of the 7th with 6 of their own in the bottom of the 8th. And still a chance to do more damage here at 2 outs. Spongberg lifts this one high to the shallow right field, and making the catch there is the right fielder. That will be it, but the Corn Belt League restore their 8-run lead in the bottom of the 8th. We'll head to the top of the 9th. Last gasp here for the Midwest Moos. Here again, another new pitcher here for the Corn Belt League. We saw Braden Bach come in and do an inning and a third, just like we expected. Got through the 7th and then got through the 8th. Top of the 9th, none other to bring in than Noah Wing, the Nebraska Wesleyan University product from Westside High School, champion with the Filth Ballers. Just last night, he threw 11 pitches, 11 strikes, 1 inning pitch, 3 strikeouts, struck out the side, I should say, of McPherson last night, and he almost had an immaculate inning. He went, I believe it was 8 pitches, so he had the last strike was the one he needed, and then 2 foul balls, and then finally put him away there with the 12th pitch. But Noah Wing, I mean, just efficient, throws gas, throws a fastball, throws, I believe, a curve and a changeup, and that's all you need here.
Yeah, I mean, Noah works everything around that fastball, that electric, lively fastball, which tops out at about 90 miles an hour, but it looks a lot faster coming out of his hand due to that arm angle. And yeah, if he can work around that fastball, that slider, or that curveball and changeup really come into play, and it just makes it seem that much more filthy than it actually is. But I mean, he had a 1 strikeout percentage. You heard me correctly, folks. He threw 11 pitches and had 11 strikes and 3 Ks. That's about as efficient as you want as a closer right there. And let's see if he can do the same thing here against the Midwest Moo.
Top of the order coming up here, Nate Corhayes. Actually, correction, we've got bottom of the order, 9 spot, Andrew Brown coming up here. And then it'll be Nate Corhayes. His first pitch fouled off, so there's strike 1. Another pitch fouled off, there's strike 2. With the count 0-2, Wing looking to put him away here. Might resort back to that curveball. He's thrown 2 fastballs with immense speed, and said this one fouled off again, so it'd still be 0-2. But it's still 3 fastballs. I mean, Wing's throwing that fastball, and when he can locate it correctly like he's been doing, all hitters can do is guess where it's going, and that's why you've seen 3 straight foul balls here from Brown. He's just guessing. There's another foul ball. There's 4 straight foul balls. Brown's really just kind of guessing where the pitch is going to go, trying to locate it. That's why these foul balls are going everywhere. He can't get a timing on it, And so Wing is doing a really good job here. Very effective pitching from Wing. And that one just missed. That's the first ball that Wing has thrown all tournament.
That's insane. That is insane. The first pitch, 15 pitches in, that's his first ball.
An incredible stat line there from Noah Wing. 15 straight pitches. There were strikes. And there we go. Strikeout looking for Noah Wing. He struck out all 4 batters he's faced this tournament.
That is a backwards K. That K is going to walk him right back to the dugout, and that is a out right there for Noah Wing as he continues his dominance on the mound. Four batters, 4 Ks for Noah Wing. This is just dominance we're seeing on the mound right here, Arnav.
And it brings up the top of the lineup in Nate Corhayes. He's been pretty effective against very strong pitchers. You saw him piece up Layden a little bit there, as well as got a hit on Braden Bach, I believe it was. And now he's facing against Noah Wing. First pitch outside for Noah Wing. It's a ball outside. And Corhayes ahead in the count 1-0. Wing yet to throw anything other than that fastball still. We've only seen fastballs from Wing here, trying to close this game out. Check swing is still outside there, so it's 2-0.
Wing on the pitch. Just got the outside half of the plate right there, making it a 1-1 count. That was a nice pitch right there by Wing, solidifying that outer half of the zone. As Nate Corhayes right here has to deal with a 1-1 count with 1 out, as the Moo are down 6-14. As Wing gives a slider high, making it a 2-1 count.
2-1 now the count is here. Wing working on. He gets a check swing. Will it be a walk? Yes, it will. So walking down to first there. First walk of the tournament there for Wing, and it'll be Corhayes at first base.
Yeah, if you're Wing, you don't want to let that walk kind of throw off your rhythm. You've been absolutely dealing. You've been absolutely dominant. A ground ball here would be ideal. You want to keep things up in the zone, let these hitters try to tomahawk chop their way at a ball.
There's a hit there. Gets the first out. Going for 2. The double play to win it. And no, it will not be the end of the game. They get the first out there at second base, but unable to get the second one there. So at first base there is Townsley. I want to remind you that after the game here, assuming that this could be the last batter here. After the game, we'll have our post-game interview with the player of the game posted on the Cornbelt League Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, all those social media outlets after the end of this stream. And player of the game here is going to be Eli McDonald. I mean, 4 for 5, 2 runs scored, 1 RBI. What an amazing night it was for Eli McDonald. And originally, he wasn't even supposed to be on this team. Eli McDonald was not supposed to be on this team. He was passed over because the Royal Blue Dogs were without a coach for a little bit there at the end of the Corn Belt League season, but the coach who was on a leave of absence there, Guido, made a push to get him on the team because he needed the experience and he wanted the minutes. Really, he wanted to get on the field. He wanted to play baseball. And Guido recognized that and was able to get him on this team and just making sure that Eli got the exposure that he needed and the exposure that he deserved after a great season with the Corn Belt League. The Royal Blue Dogs obviously ended up in the 6th spot, but that doesn't discredit anything that Eli McDonald had done all year. So an incredible showing for McDonald, 4 for 5, 2 runs scored, 1 RBI. We'll make sure to talk to him after the game, and you'll see all those on our Corn Belt League socials.
We are truly blessed to have such a great coaching staff and truly blessed to have such a great group of young men playing for the Corn Belt League. It has been an honor watching guys like Eli McDonald and Guido and Hobbs do their thing out there.
3-2 the count is here. Wings trying to close out this game on a full count. Working against Matt Hamilton. Calling for time there is Hamilton.
Throw your best hit. Throw your best pitch. Unleash the heat.
Yeah, it's got to be fastball here if you're Noah Wing. Put him low and away, catch him in the dirt.
Call him Buffalo Wing because he throws gas and he throws some heat.
I don't think I'll ever be calling him that, as there's a put-away pitch. Got him looking on the outside corner. What a pitch that is for Noah Wing, and that will be the game. 14-6 your final score. The Midwest Moos fall to the Corn Belt League All-Stars. An 8-run differential puts the Corn Belt League differential on the play-in games to 24, one of the highest we've seen in all the past 2 seasons in the Summer Ball Showdown. We want to thank you guys for tuning in. Final score 14-6 for the Corn Belt League All-Stars. You'll see them tomorrow. We'll have a later date there for the time of the game and who their opponent is. As for now, I've been Arnav Pokhrel, joined by Ethan McCormick here in the booth as I start to lose my voice. What an amazing game it was, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.